Alive.
Because in looking over statistics now, they're saying with the real number, 100%. So we're Biden's mandate, the entire car industry, down to China, controls over 8% of the so they think every time you end up using a fair transition.
Hi, Melissa. I just thought the music with him, it was amazing. Anything that covers the voice. Hi, Pepper. I feel like if I was listening to this is too good to sound up.
The strike support you double your weight.
Does he?
We hope you get a fair deal for yourself.
Oh, no worries, Pep. I'm sorry. I'm sorry it's name's okay. I haven't really listened to any of this. I feel like
In fact, for a little while, we're driving through. The people are going crazy. I said, "Is this?"
What are we doing? They're driving through. The people are going crazy. Are they going crazy? How crazy are they? That crazy? Okay. Chump, 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 chump.
No, but I said,
That's
"Is this
what I
a
hear.
rally?" We're driving through thousands and thousands of people.
It's not.
We just put it online. Incredible. What? The great Dan Scavino put it online. Where's
Dan Scavino? Where are you, Scabby?
Dan Scavino. He gets everything.
Fucking
he sees
Dan.
what's going
I think he
on.
was a limo driver,
Thank
wasn't
you,
he?
Dan. Yeah.
Like, isn't he literally just a
Where is
limo
he?
driver or something?
One of the greats of all time, most powerful men in politics. He controls the internet. The
Crazy
great Dan
enough to champ
Scavino.
for that
Get over here
criminal
for the
lunatic.
cameras, Dan. Get over there.
Yes. I wish I could.
Stephen Chung has
Crazy.
done incredible.
Crazy.
Jason Miller.
They're
legend,
crazy
Jason.
for
Oh,
thinking he's on
Now I
it.
have a great group of people. They all
They're
want to come. They
crazy.
want to come.
Crazy for
They don't want to come
thinking
to
he
people.
cares.
You see that when that?
Yes,
they
Dan
have a new
Scavino
plan.
does
How to
control
keep
the
this
internet.
guy
Well, it
from
controls
standing
his
up.
internet.
You have to get him to stand up.
He controls
How to
his
keep
internet.
him standing up
That's what he meant.
and getting down.
Different.
You know, it's so unelegant. You know, I love this.
It's so unelegant. Is it unelegant?
Air Force One. You know, I got new Air Force One. I saved $1.7 billion. They came to me. They said, "Sir, you saw this." First day I was in
He
office,
did.
I said,
It's
"What is
true.
it?"
I saw it on the
It's a
internet.
new Air Force One.
Okay, wait. I need
It's
to go
5.7
here
billion.
and turn
I
him
said,
up.
That sounds like a lot of money for a plane. It's actually two planes, by the way, but they call it Air Force One. They're identical. I mean, even the wood grain,
Oops, sorry.
you can tell the difference.
Just wanted to go away, I
I could
guess.
tell because it was a
I guess I
little
just want
nick
to go away.
in one desk that wasn't on the other. So I could say that's one and the
It
other
should
one's
be
two.
inelegant,
No, it's
but
incredible, actually.
unelegant.
But, those
whatever.
planes are like 32
Then
years
you
old.
control the internet too.
Nobody wanted to make the
Dun,
move
dun,
and do it because they think,
dun.
oh, it looked luxury. In the meantime,
Super
they come in
internet.
from Saudi Arabia and these other countries.
Hey
brand new. They're
Lee,
like
how
3
are you,
months old,
sweetheart?
and
I'm
they're going
good.
away.
I'm a good.
Our country should have the
I'm a
latest and the
good.
greatest. So they wanted me to do it. It was 5.7 billion. I said, nope, it's too high. They said, why do you see that? Why are you saying that? Because Obama agreed to the deal. If they agreed to it, it's too high.
What are we talking about?
So the head of Boeing came in and he said,
He's your
sir, we
best
have to get 5.7. I said, nope, I'm not doing it. I was supposed to sign it. I said, I'm not doing it, not for 5.7. Has to have a 3 on it.
Yes, he does.
I
Yes,
didn't know
Dan
what that meant,
Scavino
except I knew it
does
was a hell of
type
a
his
cut,
tweets.
Right, Al? So they said, sir, we're not going to do it.
Michigan
We're not gonna
definitely
do
in
it.
the
We'll take our
spotlight this
$400
week.
million.
Wow. Oh yeah, I came in
moved this for about
early.
3 minutes and I got 400
I
million.
gal.
Can you imagine the money these people make?
I just thought I was listening to this
So I said,
nonsensical.
no deal.
I don't want to listen to this alone.
And it's got to have a 3.
I don't want to listen to
Gotta
this
have a 3.
alone.
And I held out, and they called up 2 weeks later. I said, "What do they want?"
What
They
about
called
your
me and said, "So we're going to take another
friends?
300 million. That's 700 million off." And I haven't done anything. I probably worked for about
Scavino
2.5
blocked me on
minutes, so
Twitter.
about 700.
Oh, Melissa, that's a
And I just
great
said
badge
no,
of
and I sort of
honor.
forgot about it. A month and a half later, they called me.
Great badge of honor.
Sir, we'll do it for 3,999,999,999.99 right? And I said, you have yourself a deal. So I saved $1.7 billion
On what?
on that plane. I was very proud of it.
Is he talking about Air Force
One?
One?
No.
He negotiated Air Force
Does
One.
the fake
Stop
news
it.
call me and say, what a wonderful thing you did? No, that's okay. That's okay. But your leadership should endorse me,
They
and
won't.
I will
Hi, Art
not say a
Music.
bad
How are
thing about them
you?
again, and
Good
they
to see
will
you,
have
Diana.
done their job. They will have done a proper
What
job.
about
In
your
fact,
friends?
if they endorse
Yeah, he's
me,
totally
they will have
normal.
the easiest labor
Totally normal.
leadership job anywhere in the country. They just have to sit back and watch as our auto industry reignites and booms. That's what's good. They don't even have. Right? I mean, how can they go with this guy? Can't find his way off a stage. I'm looking at these, I always sort of look at stages now. I get a little, because I say, how the hell do you not find your way? So every once in a while, I'll be in the middle of the speech. I'll look, stairs there, stairs there.
Oh my God.
And I say, how the hell does it work that you can't find your way off a stage? How
Look
does
at
that
me.
work?
I look for the stairs.
Joe Biden is surrendering our auto industry to
Yeah.
China, just like he surrendered our borders to the cartels.
Benito,
and he surrendered
Benito.
Afghanistan in the
Benito,
most embarrassing
Benito.
weekday time
You are
period
done.
in the history of our country.
Yeah.
He surrendered to the Taliban, took the military out first. You don't take the military, you take the military out last. So tell your UAW leadership, no problems with them. But they have to endorse Trump, because if they don't, all they're doing is committing suicide.
Hi, Clay.
And honestly, you don't want that to happen, because they're committing suicide on the back of your jobs, and you can't let that happen. The Democrats, as they wave the white
Who's in
flag
that
of surrender
room? Who's
over
in
your
that
future
room,
to
actually?
other foreign countries. You can't have it done. So if you
Random
can speak to
thoughts.
Sean,
Good one,
who's
Pepper.
listening
Random
right now,
thoughts
I'm
bouncing
sure.
around his head like a pinball.
Sean,
So true.
endorse Trump, and you can take a nice 2-month vacation, come back, and you guys are going to be better than you ever were. You don't even have to work.
What the fuck was that about? What?
Because the other way, you won't have a vacation, Sean.
Sounds like 10 people.
And in
Yeah,
a short
it
period
does.
of time, you're
It
not going to
sounds
have a
like
union.
10
You're not going to have jobs. You're not going to have anything. You have the strongest you've ever had. You're going to do great. You're going to do great. And it's so easy. It's common sense. Again, it's common sense. But unlike them, I will never surrender. I'll never surrender for you. And the American worker never surrenders either.
I'll never surrender. I mean, never. I will never surrender.
But you need leadership. It's nice to say you never surrender, but you need direction and you need leadership. Crooked Joe puts China first, Mexico first,
Union
Ukraine
strong.
first, Europe first, Asia first, illegal aliens first, environmental lunatics first. Puts everyone else first. But he puts America last. He puts our workers
He
last.
does.
He puts the
Even with
UAW
the CHIPS
last.
Act.
He puts our industries last. He puts your families last.
I'm sorry. Okay,
He
it's
puts
going
everything-
away. It's
he
going
does put
away.
your children
Don't worry.
last, yeah. When you think of it,
You didn't. That's
probably
true.
they should be at the top
true.
of your list. Thank you
It's
very
true.
much. I'm going to use that. Do you mind if I use that from now on? Who said that? That was very good. He puts your children last. That's going at the top of my list.
I'm gonna put it in my next speech. I'm gonna pick your nose.
He puts everything that's good last.
Super stickery.
Mine
Wait, I
is
gotta
slightly
get
different.
my. I gotta
put
get us to
America-
the whatever. Okay, hold on. Ronald Reagan,
the great communicator,
the greatest
America's
something or other.
commander-in-chief.
Thank you, Clay. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Oh, stop it. Paying customers. Does sound like a teeny tiny crowd. It does. Oh, Clay. Hello. Yes, I yield. Well, I can't guarantee you that this is going to be much better. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you right now. This is not going to be much better. Hello, Kevin. How are you? It's nice to see you. How are you doing? What the left is doing? Do you know what the left is doing? I'm telling you what they're doing right now. And I'm really mad about it. Oops. Oh, shit. Sorry. Yes, I admit it. I was watching Rudy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know. Not T-Nope is better. Yeah, that's it. Well, there you go. Hi, J31C. How are you? Fox? Is it Fox next, Lolo? I know. This is the only place they're playing. That's what I'm going to do. These idiots going to be idiots, but none of them is T-Nope. That's so true. This is all a very good point. I will go and make it louder. Maybe not.
In California.
Let me know if it's annoying. I understand. Thank you, Artney. Thanks, Diana. Hi, Muskie. How are you? Welcome. Welcome to this shit show. Right. You better have your weed, folks.
Univision.
Good evening. Thank you, Stuart. President Reagan famously described America as a shining city on a hill. And tonight, 7 candidates will make the case they should be the one to
Tino
lead that city into a brighter
wannabes.
tomorrow.
It is
But
going to be
first,
annoying the
they
whole
have
time,
to
Fool on the
convince
Hill. I'm
you,
so sorry.
the voter.
I understand.
Please,
I
allow me to
totally
welcome our
understand.
Spanish-speaking audience. Muy buenas noches a todos. Desde la Biblioteca Presidencial Ronald Reagan, los precandidatos republicanos también buscan su voto para las primarias del partido. Bienvenidos.
And good evening. So
Check on the
let's
smoke.
meet the candidates who have qualified and chosen to be on this stage tonight. They are positioned by the order they rank in the polls, with the highest polling candidate in the middle. Standing center stage, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
I like turtles. I work for Peter Thiel. I'm wearing my red tonight.
It's South Carolina, Senator Tim Scott.
I wish I wasn't here.
Governor Chris Christie.
I'm still fat.
On the way tonight, former Vice President Mike Pence.
What? I don't have a fly
and
with
Dakota
me.
Governor Doug Burgum.
I don't know how I got here either, folks. Thanks anyway. Yep, thank you anyway.
Issue is important to primary voters.
What are they in, an
Candidates
airplane
get 1
hangar?
minute to answer and 30 seconds to respond if singled
Matter of
out.
fact, I do.
When their time runs out, we'll all hear this. We have a lot of ground to cover, so please keep it civilized.
Let's get going. We are in this spacious, sunny place tonight, designed to reflect the very nature and character of Ronald Reagan. It's a place that
Oh,
makes
it's
you
that
proud
thing.
to be an American.
All right.
Yet today our nation is drowning in division and incivility.
Voters say they dread the 2024 election
It
and find
is.
politics
I'm glad
exhausting.
they're doing that,
2
except for the
in
fact that
3
these guys are
Americans
assholes.
think the country is on the wrong track, and 3 in 4 say the economy is not.
Who'd
in
you
good
ask?
shape.
Prices are up 18% since 2020. More than half of the US population has little access
Oh,
to
do they care about
childcare.
childcare now?
85%
Wait,
of Americans say
is
their
that
personal
it?
finances are a source of stress.
Americans want to believe a leader who says, "You can follow me. I've got you. Don't worry." President Biden is trying to do that with Bidenomics.
And yesterday, he joined the picket lines where auto workers are demanding more wages and job security. Senator Scott, you recently reacted by praising Ronald Reagan for firing air traffic controllers in the 1980s, saying, "You strike, you're fired." Would you fire thousands of striking auto
I
workers
think it's
today?
Stuart
Senator?
Obviously,
Vonnie
the President of the United States cannot
from
fire anybody in
Fox
the private sector.
Business.
However, we should look back at the first bill in Congress under Joe Biden. The first bill had $86 billion for the union pensions because they continue to overpromise yet underdeliver. One of the challenges that we have in the current
I know, CHIPS
negotiations
Act,
is that
infrastructure,
they want 4-day French
I don't know,
work
$35
weeks, but more
insulin.
money. They want more benefits, working fewer hours. That is simply not going to stand. I sat in a finance committee hearing.
I
when
don't like jokes about
a widow came before the
people's
committee
sexual
who was
orientation.
promised
So I
pensions
don't really
from
like
the
those jokes.
unions, $4,000 a month. Unfortunately,
I
it had
would
been
ask
cut
you
to
to remove
$1,000 a month. We must make sure that we honor the commitments that we make. And one of the ways that we do that, do not overpromise and then
you
underdeliver and leave the taxpayers on the
really
hook.
too hot
I'll
out
say
of the
this, Joe Biden
Kind
should
of
not be on
lukewarm out
the
of the
picket
gate.
line. He should be on the southern border, working to close our southern border because it is unsafe, wide open, and insecure, leading to the deaths of 70,000 Americans
I
in the
do
last
not
12
trust
months
this
because
guy
of fentanyl.
at all.
It is devastating. Every
He
county
just
in
wants
America
to
is
raise
now
his
a border
political
county
capital, and
because fentanyl has devastated
that's just
Americans in every single state. I will also say
It's dumb.
6 million illegal crossings since Joe Biden has taken office.
I thought it was
And
7
eliminated
million.
Title
What's their?
42.
They need
The
to
one
land on a
thing he should
number.
do
Land on
is
a fucking
finish the
number.
wall,
That's what you should do.
reinstate Title 42, and get the job done.
He is mean spirited. Yes.
Well, I can promise you
I'm
that
laughing
we're
at the
going to
idea
have
that Tim
lot
has
of
a girlfriend at all.
questions on the
Oh
border
no,
and immigration, but in the meantime, we do want to talk about the
did
economy
he say
and
he
jobs,
has a girlfriend?
and especially want to talk about this strike for just a moment more.
I didn't know
Mr.
what his
Ramaswamy, you've
situation
said
was.
you really empathize with the strikers.
No.
You're standing next to Senator Scott, and do you agree
No,
with
I
what
understand.
he said,
I'm
or
laughing
do you
at
think
the
he's
yeah,
wrong?
because I thought
with
the
some of what he
rumor
said,
was
for
that
sure. I
he's
like the
gay, and
spirit
that's
of
what
it.
it was. So I
I'll
apologize.
say that I don't have a lot of
misunderstood.
patience for the union bosses. I think that's where he and I actually have a common view. I do have a lot of sympathy for the workers, however. People are going through real hardship in this country.
Really?
I've
They're
been through
talking
hardship
about all the
growing up.
fentanyl.
My father stared
over
down
Congress.
layoffs at GE under Jack
Oh.
Welch's tenure at the GE plant in Evendale, Ohio. My mom had to work overtime in nursing homes in Southwest Ohio to make ends meet and pay off our home loan. So I understand that
When the
hardship is
GOP
not a
told him he had
choice.
to prove it, oh my
But
God,
victimhood
I didn't
is a
realize
choice.
that.
And we choose to be victorious in the United States of America. You know what? If I was giving advice to those workers, I would say go picket in front of the White House in Washington, D.C. That's really where the protest needs to be. Disastrous economic policies that have driven up prices, that have driven up interest rates and mortgage rates. At the same time, wages remaining stagnant. What we need is to deliver economic growth in this country. Unlock American energy. Drill, frack, burn coal. and
Do whatever
waste
it
nuclear
takes.
energy.
Do
Put
whatever it
people back
takes.
to work by no longer paying
Sure
them
you
more
do,
money to stay
grifty
at home.
McScammer.
Stabilize the U.S. dollar itself and rescind
Why don't we
a
turn and
majority
burn
of
the
those
United States? Can we turn
unconstitutional
and burn
federal
it?
regulations
I think that's a
that
great
are
idea.
hampering our economy. That is how we unleash American exceptionalism. And that's
oh.
not a Democratic vision or a Republican
Why are
vision.
you
That is
yelling?
an
Sir, you
American
have
vision
a-
that we embrace
you have a
economic growth,
microphone.
and capitalism is still the
Yeah,
best
I
system
enjoy
known
earthquakes
to man
too.
to lift us up from
Ramaswamy.
poverty, and we should not apologize for it. That's what it
He's
means to be an
so
American.
bad.
Together, The CEOs of General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis make 336 times the number of number
he said
of
that
rank and
wrong,
file
didn't he?
workers. That's just part of a wider income inequality trend in the country. The richest 1% now controls 1/5 of all income.
Yeah.
Vice President Pence,
Yeah.
last week you said you side with American workers, but you also support how these companies operate. Which is it?
Well, thank you for the question. I want to thank Univision and Fox
I need
Business for
to
sending such a wonderful
buy some
forum.
time while I try to think of how to answer
Look, I
this.
do disagree with something Tim Scott just said. Joe
Uh-oh.
Biden doesn't belong on a picket line. He belongs on the unemployment line.
Woo! Girl!
I mean, look,
Girl!
I'm from the second leading manufacturing
Girl,
state
that
in
was
the
a good
country per
one.
capita. I was governor of the state of Indiana. We brought
Okay.
12,000 factories back to America during our administration.
Didn't he
I know
shut some
something
shit
about
down, though? I
manufacturing.
thought he
And I gotta tell
failed
you,
somehow
while-
really badly.
While the union bosses are
I was
talking
pretty
about
sure he
class
failed,
warfare and talking
right?
about disparity
Right?
in wages, I have to tell you, I really believe what's driving that is Bidenomics has failed. Wages are not
Okay.
keeping up with inflation. Auto workers and
Okay.
all American
Well, they
workers
never
are
have.
feeling it. And
If
families
you're
are
gonna be
struggling in
honest,
this
they
economy.
really haven't.
And Joe Biden's Green New Deal agenda is good for Beijing and bad for Detroit. We ought to repeal the Green New Deal, get rid of
He
the
did
mandates
fall.
and
Oh, that's
subsidies
right.
that
He
are
did
driving
fall.
American gasoline,
fall.
automotive manufacturing
And to
into
think,
the
only one
graveyard.
female up
And
there.
beyond that,
We
also,
really making
as
progress.
President of the United States,
Oh
I'll
my
be
God,
standing
we're
with
not
workers
making
all
progress.
across America, and I'll be standing for the right to work
I
of
just
every
donated to the
American
Fly.
to join a union or not join a union as they decide.
Senator Scott, you were mentioned and you care to respond.
There's no doubt that Joe Biden needs to be fired. That's why I'm running for president. I look forward to being the next president of the United States. I will also say,
Kitty
I
fight.
know America can do for anyone what she's done for me. It's why we're focusing
You know, you got
on
a
restoring
foreground
hope,
on my-
creating opportunities, and protecting the America we all love. Growing up
Hey,
in a
come on.
single-parent
Chris Christie
household,
hasn't opened
I
his
wonder
mouth
if
yet.
the American dream would work for a kid in the inner city. I've got good news for every single child. Whether you're in the inner cities of Chicago or the rural
pensive
parts
fly.
of Iowa, America and
a
the
good
dream, it is alive, it is well,
Is
and
it?
it is healthy.
Okay.
God bless.
Wait, you
the
just said it was.
United
Wait,
States of
you
America.
just said it was bad. Wait,
Governor Haley, you raise your hand.
wait.
I think we need to look at exactly what happened. Biden showed up on
You
that.
got high
picket line.
hopes.
But why are those workers
Yeah,
actually
me
there?
too.
It's
Hi,
because
Joe.
of all of the spending
know.
that he has pushed through in the economy that's raised the inflation. So when you look at the fact that we are paying higher gas prices, higher grocery prices, $7,000 more a year for families, what we need to do is I came out with an economic plan, eliminate
sorry,
the gas
Grandma.
and diesel tax so that they
I'm
have
so
more money
sorry.
in their pocket. Let's focus on going after middle America and cutting taxes for middle
I
America
heard
and
of her.
collapsing those brackets. Let's get rid of unfair distortions like the state and local tax that they give to wealthy people in blue states and not and paid by red states. And let's make sure we make the small business taxes permanent. They only made those
What?
temporary. They made the corporate
Tulsi
taxes
Grammar.
permanent. Let's focus on what it takes to get more cash in the pockets of workers. That's when we'll be able
That's
to
a
deal with
winner.
strikes like
That
this,
is a
not sitting
winner.
on a picket
Because
line.
I'm going to
like
start
Joe
calling
Biden.
her
Thank you, Governor Haley. We have other
Folsom
questions to
Grammar.
get to about
Can we call her
economy.
Folsom
Allow me
Grammar?
to-
No, I guess.
I'm sorry.
Allow me to.
I'm sorry, I have to jump in because we're missing the point and every other network is missing the point. The reason why people are
No,
striking
Doug,
in
nobody
Detroit
cares.
is
You're
because
not going to
Joe
win.
Biden's
No one cares.
interference
Doug,
with capital markets
Doug,
and with free markets.
stop.
The subsidies, we're subsidizing
Taylor
the
Robert.
automakers and we're subsidizing the cars and a particular kind of car,
Kelly
not every
Taylor
car.
Robert?
We're particularly,
Yes.
we're subsidizing electric vehicles. And when you decide that we're going to take all of your taxpayer monies, take $1 billion, subsidize a certain type of
What is
vehicle,
it?
and the batteries come from
Chomsky
China controls
knows.
85% of the rare earth
Is
minerals.
it-
They're called rare
Is this
earth
where I'm gonna
because
watch
they're
it?
measured in parts per million. China is moving 100,000 pounds of earth in
Bergam.
Indonesia. In
Bergam is a
Africa.
type
They're
of
literally
wheat,
destroying
if I'm
the
not
planet
mistaken.
so that we
Isn't
can
that
make a
correct?
battery that's in a car subsidized here.
Bergam's
That's why
not.
they're striking because they need 2/3 less workers to build an electric car.
Very
Joe
serious
Biden, this
about
strike
that.
is at Joe Biden's feet.
Brows. I got brows. I got bangs.
Keep the topic of economy, but allow me to the follow question to Governor
Yeah,
Christie.
can she ask a
The government
question?
will shut down if Congress does not reach a deal by the end of this week. Vice President Pence
Look at all
warns
those good
that
Republican
politics
women.
Of, quote, Trump's
That's
populist
the
prodigies
religions
like
places
Mr.
they're
Ramaswamy
accounted for.
are a road to ruin for the GOP. If the government shuts down, should voters blame populist Republicans?
Voters should blame everybody who's in Washington, D.C. They get sent down there to do the job, and they've been failing at doing the job for a very long time.
Well, Chris, let's
And
talk
be
about
honest about this
failures.
with the
Can
voters.
we talk?
During the Trump administration,
Can
they
we
added
talk about
$7 trillion.
Bridgegate?
$7 trillion in national
Can we
debt.
talk about that? I
And
remember
now the
that.
Biden administration has put another $5 trillion on.
You
and
were
counting.
silent.
They have failed, and they're in the spot they're in now because none of them are willing to tell the truth. None of them are
Yes,
willing to take on the difficult
everyone's
issues.
come across
They
the
just want to
southern
keep
border,
kicking
really.
the can down the road.
I've come
and the
across
inflation
it.
that Nikki spoke about is absolutely right, and it's caused by government spending. And that's why
All
people
these
all
former
across this country
governors
are
talking about
suffering
failures.
tonight.
Good one, Melissa.
And yet we don't get any answers because Joe Biden hides in his basement and won't answer as to why he's raising the debt the way he's done. And Donald Trump hides behind the walls of his golf clubs and
Pence
won't show up
post.
here to answer questions like all the rest of us are up here to answer. He put $7 trillion on the debt.
Wow,
He
you're
should
on
be in
fire.
this room
Oof
to
is
answer
on
those
fire
questions for the
tonight.
people you talk about who are suffering. And if the government
Also,
closes, and
a
if the government
large
closes,
Toyota
it's
battery
to blame-
manufacturing
it is to
facility
the
is being
blame
built. Oh,
of
wow.
everyone in Washington, D.C.
Look how serious
who
Chris
has
is,
failed to do their
though.
job
Nice
and just
suit.
plays to the grandstand.
The next question is for Governor DeSantis.
As in dumb as a post fence. A Pence post.
Can we please respect the time?
Yes. He's center stage, Clay.
Please.
The people in Washington are shutting down the American dream with their reckless behavior. They borrowed, they printed, they spent, and now you're paying more for
Carrots
everything.
for
They are the reason for that.
Carrots.
They have
Whoa.
shut down our
What
national
was that?
sovereignty by
Ooh.
allowing our border to be wide open. So please spare me the crocodile tears for
Wide
these people.
open?
They need
I
to
wouldn't say
change what's
wide
going on.
open.
And where's Joe Biden? He's completely missing
Can you
in
ask the
action from
parent of
leadership.
the young
And you know
child
who
that
else is
died
missing
in
in
those
action?
disgusting
Donald Trump is missing in action. He should be
barriers
on this
inside the
stage
Rio
tonight.
Grande?
He owes it to
Can you
you
do that?
to defend his record where they added 7.8 trillion to the debt. That set the stage for the inflation that we have now. I can tell you this, as governor of Florida, we cut taxes, we ran surpluses, we've paid down over 25% of our state debt, and I vetoed wasteful
time to
spending
blow
when
ass.
it came to my desk.
Come on,
and as your
Christy, blow
president,
ass
when
right
they
on
send me
stage.
a bloating spending bill
Pence
that's going to cause
post.
your prices to
Yes.
go up,
Hi,
I'm going to
Scuba
take
Val.
out this veto pen and I'm going to
Pence
send
post.
it right
Actually,
back to
Oomph
them.
said it. I cannot take credit for that. Amazing. I understand. J31C, I totally get it. Girl, I totally understand.
Americans, and I know that you've been thinking about it because childcare costs, they are up. They're topping
Andre
$10,000
DeSantis,
per
he
month.
seems quite
Some
youthful.
families are spending up to half of their income
Yes.
on childcare, and they're having to decide: is it worth it for me to work?
J31C,
Or does it not make
I
sense for me
should put like
financially?
clown
In
music
3
behind
days,
it.
the billions of dollars in pandemic era funding is going to end, and 70,000 daycares could close. So you had an effort to broaden eligibility for child care assistance. That fell apart
didn't know
last
that.
year. And for the moms and dads out there who are worried, what can you tell them if you weren't able to get it through the Congress? How could you do it as president?
Certainly one of the
That's a
things I
good one,
did as
Joe.
a member of Congress was to make sure that we protected the Head Start programs around the country, giving people the opportunity to pick and choose
Really?
the place that they send their
God.
children. The challenges that we see today under the Biden administration is that the
Home insurance
cost
is
for
doubled.
daycare
Thank you,
has gone
Librew.
over $15,000 per
Well,
child.
okay.
And the
Dude.
Build Back
Dude.
Broker plan, he called it a Build Back Better plan.
He
it
has
was
no
going
children,
up to
not even a wife. He
$29,000.
doesn't understand
So
those
the way we
issues, and
fix
he
that
is
problem
literally
to make sure
being
that we
opportunistic,
actually
and I
cut
just hate
taxes
it.
and give more Americans their money back. When I helped write the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, we actually lowered a single mother's taxes by 70%
can't even talk about
on
the
the
good
federal
things
level.
that he's
For dual
done.
income households by 60%. Then we went a step further. We doubled the child tax credit and made it refundable. By doing that,
No, you're not
more
alone.
parents
No
had
one
more
really. And
resources
poor
to
Tim
make
is
the
probably
decisions
the
how to
most
take care of their
serious
family.
legislator
the one
of
thing we
all
should
of them
do is let the American people
up there, and
keep
yet
their
this is what
money.
he's
When that happens, the
doing.
greatest opportunities rise from the ashes.
Okay,
I need
I'm
to
going to
jump
give
in
you 15
here.
seconds. Go ahead.
I
And
need
then
to
we're
jump
going to the
because
border.
Ilya mischaracterized a part of my view. I think this artificial division is unhelpful in our party. The real divide is not between the
Oh my
Republicans on this
God, are
stage.
you
And in the Reagan
kidding?
Library, I want to say these are good people on this stage.
Oh
The
my
real divide
God.
is between the majority of us in this country who love the
Question
United
for
States of
Gal.
America and share our founding ideals. Free speech, meritocracy, the idea you get ahead in this country, not in the color of your skin, but on the content of your character, and the fringe minority in the Democrat Party that has a chokehold over
Aspen?
that party. That's the real
Is that
divide. So this
Aspen,
populism
Gal?
We're going to
versus
go to
classical debate
immigration and
is
the border.
artificial.
Ilya?
We need to unite this party.
We are going to immigration and the border. We are going to talk about immigration and the border. And
Childcare. We have
I think we're going to go on. You have to. We have all these questions. We're going to get to you. We're going to come back to you. There's a lot of time. We're
about childcare. Nobody answered the question. In North Dakota, we
Sir.
knew that the cliff was
Doug,
coming.
nobody
we knew that
is
there was going to
voting
be
for
millions
you.
of people without it. And so guess what? We planned.
Okay.
Oh, not Aspen. Okay.
We passed legislation because
Sir, we will
childcare
get you some questions, but you're going to have to let us move on. We are going to the
Okay.
border
Not
next.
Aspen.
child care
No, sir,
is
Ilya,
workforce
please.
infrastructure.
I'm
I
gonna
haven't been
start
given a
with
chance to
In
respond.
Oh my
1984,
God, yes.
President
Thank
Ronald
you,
Reagan
fool.
said
They
the
can't
following.
stop quoting MLK, and it's
Idea of amnesty for those who have put down roots and who have lived here, even though sometime back they may have entered illegally.
2 years later, President Reagan granted amnesty to nearly 3 million immigrants, something no Democrat or Republican president has done since. Governor Christie, as governor of a non-border state in 2010, you supported a path to citizenship. But when you ran for president in 2016, you flipped, saying immigrants should be tracked like FedEx packages. Where do you stand now
Typical,
on a path
yes.
to
It is
citizenship
the
for
Republican
11
shit
million
show.
of undocumented immigrants?
Well, the problem is that since no one has done anything since we first
Gal
had this
has a
discussion
thread on the
13 years ago,
Institute,
we're
the
not in a
Leadership
position to be able to
Institute
do
of the
any of that
Rockies,
anymore.
A right-wing
What we
dark
have to
money
do now is
institute
first
new,
treat this like the law enforcement problem it is.
is
Our
Tim
laws are being
Scott's
broken every
finishing
day at the
school.
southern border, every day.
Tim Scott went
And
to
Joe
finishing
Biden
school.
and his crew is doing nothing about enforcing that law. They are letting it go. And
Has
by
a
the way, they
new
announced
ad
during the
out in
presidential
Michigan.
race they were going to let it go. And we need to have
Leadership
a
program of the
president
Rockies.
who
It
acts like
says
I did as governor.
institute.
Enforce the law first and foremost. And that means what I'll do on day one is sign an executive order to send the National Guard to partner with Customs and Border Patrol to make sure that we
What
stop
were you
the
saying,
flow of
Chris?
fentanyl
Everybody
over the
stop
border,
listening.
but also to make sure that we send a much different message. We want you here in this country to fill
guy's on
the 6 million vacant jobs we have, but only if you come here to follow the law and only if you come here legally. If you come here illegally, we will apprehend you and we will send you back
Well, then
across
you're
the
going to
border
need to do a
from which
much
you
better
came.
job of legal
And the fact is that until we
because
set
right now
a
it
law and
sucks.
order
America's
agenda in this
Premier
country,
Institute
not
develops,
only
trains,
now, but
and
in the
trains
future,
emerging
we
leaders
won't be
to
able to
reach new
continue
heights.
this. And I'll tell you this, Donald Trump failed on this as well. He said he was going to build a wall across the whole border. He built 52
I think
miles
that's
of
a
wall and
great
said
idea.
Mexico would pay for it. Guess what? I think if Mexico
I think
knew
that's a great
that he was
idea,
only going to build
Melissa.
52 miles, they might have paid for the
Yes,
52
it
miles.
is. I agree.
Thank you,
Isn't it
Governor
crazy?
Haley.
Thank you, Lip Rude. That's
Most
so
illegal
true.
immigrants are coming from countries south of the border.
I know.
You've seen the
Sounds
Fox
great.
News drone. It's captured this steady stream of people coming into the country on a daily basis. In fact, I believe we have a live picture of it tonight. That is happening right now, live.
So, is that
In the
Anthony
last
Aguero?
decade, the U.S. has spent nearly $55 billion to address the root causes of migration. But crime, poverty, and corruption, they persist, and the number of migrants is only growing. Are we wasting our money?
Well, what happens is when Joe Biden waved the green flag,
Tom.
it told everybody to come. And now we've seen 6 million people cross the border. We've had more fentanyl that have killed Americans in the Iraq, Vietnam, or Afghanistan wars combined. We need to make sure that we are a country of laws. The second we stop being a country of laws, we give up everything this country was founded on.
That's
So
right.
we have to secure the border.
That's
the
right,
way we do
Snickers.
that is, first of all,
I like to call her
defund
Snickers.
sanctuary cities. You see what's happening in
Snickers
Philadelphia
Daily.
right now. It's got to stop.
Our goal is to grow
We
an
need to
army
make
of
sure
soldiers.
we put 25,000 more Border Patrol and ICE agents on the ground and let them do their job. I spent 400 miles down that border, and I'm telling you, Border Patrol
keep
agents
thinking
aren't
of,
allowed to
like,
do their job. Let's go back to remain in Mexico policy. Instead of catch and release, let's go
I'm
to catch and
reminded of
deport.
kind of,
and
well,
let's
I'm
see that
reminded
we've
of like,
What about the aid that federal taxpayers are paying to deal with the root causes? It's
I
not
can't-
working.
The
Or is it?
only aid that we should be spending right now is to secure the border, the southern border, the northern border, period.
You would cut
We
off
need
aid
to
to the
keep
region?
Americans safe. And right now, Americans
Okay,
are not
cool.
safe. Only when we fix the immigration system, only when
Yeah,
we get the
all
border
lies.
secure, should we ever look at putting any more money into this. Our money should be about keeping Americans safe. We're not doing that. Joe Biden's not doing that. And you mentioned Congress and shutting down government. I'll make it clear. We have to change the budget process in 4 years. In 40 years. Congress has only delivered a budget on time 4 times in 40 years.
right.
If they don't keep the government open, they should not get paid. No pay, no budget. That's the way we
No,
should.
no,
Governor DeSantis
no
got a question for
kissing,
you.
no
Governor DeSantis,
whatever.
China invested $12
Yeah,
billion
Lynn.
in
Did
Latin
Nikki
America
what?
just
What was
last
this?
year. They signed
Nikki have
strategic
a-
partnerships with 7 countries, including Mexico. And China's military
I don't
ties to the
know.
region
Pam
now
Bondi's
include arms
beauty
sales
patootie, man.
and training
She's a
exercises.
Hottie
Are you
McFlottie.
comfortable with
I
China
can. I can
deep
say
in
it,
ties
Flynn.
with our southern neighbors?
I can say Joe Flynn,
course
suck
not.
my big D.
And the reason why we're in this mess is because elites in DC for
Normally it'd
far
be
too
all that.
long have chosen surrender over strength when
Wait,
it
Tom,
comes
what
to the
did you say?
CCP. Some people in our country got rich, our industrial base
Pam
got
said
hollowed
no.
out, and they have been able to build the second most powerful military in the
Oh,
entire
Pam's
world.
cute.
We need a totally new
I'm
approach
telling
to
you.
China.
So
We are going to have
cute.
real hard power in the
Oh, here
Indo-Pacific,
we go.
like Reagan, to deter their ambitions. We're going to have economic independence from China, where we're decoupling our economy, and we are going to go after the cultural power they have in this country. As governor of Florida, I banned the CCP from buying land in our state. We should do that all across these United States. We shouldn't have them in our universities. We shouldn't have
That
Confucius
is
institutes.
the tweet
So
on
when you
the
see a
Leadership
country in
Institute
decline,
or
our
Leadership
power's in
Program of the
decline,
Rockies.
China's going to surpass us this decade, and if they do that, that's going to affect every single
Changing
American
congressional
household. As your
budget
president,
practice
I am not going to let that
among
happen. I'm
Heritage
going to reverse this
25
country's decline. We are going to
objectives, perhaps not
choose
entirely
strength,
wrongly.
not surrender when it comes to the CCP.
America's not a country in decline. Under Joe Biden, we are a country
You
in retreat.
propose, quote, universal deportation
That's
for
cute.
all undocumented immigrants and their children, even if the children are citizens of the United States. Under what legal premise will you expel U.S. citizens?
So the first thing I want to say is I agree with everything the Republicans on the stage are on the right side of this issue. Militarize the southern border, stop funding sanctuary cities, and end foreign aid to Mexico and Central America to end the incentives to come across. But I do go a step further. You're right about that, Ilya. I favor ending birthright citizenship for the kids of illegal immigrants in this country. Now, the left will howl about the Constitution and the 14th Amendment. The difference between me and them is I've actually read the 14th Amendment. What it says is that all persons
girl.
born or naturalized in the United States
We've got some real
and
Adderall
subject to the
happening
laws
here.
and jurisdiction thereof
I want to see
are
his pupils.
citizens. So nobody believes that the kid of a Mexican diplomat
I
in
think
this
they did.
country
And actually,
enjoys
I
birthright
think Nikki
citizenship. Not a
Haley
judge or
picked
legal
her
scholar
frock
in this
out
country will disagree with me on that.
specifically
Well, if the
to
kid of a
match
Mexican diplomat
ties.
doesn't enjoy birthright
I'll do.
citizenship, then neither does the kid of an illegal migrant who broke the law to come here.
Wow.
And as the father of 2 sons, it is hard for me to look them in the eye and say, you have to follow the law when our own government fails to follow its own laws. That's how we really go the distance and solve this problem and restore the rule of law in the United States of America, because that is part of what it even means to be an American.
Senator Scott, you
Oh, really?
oppose ending
Does that
birthright
mean we
citizenship?
should hold former
Well,
presidents
Mr.
accountable
Ramaswamy
for
have
their
heard that
criminal
issue.
actions
There's no
during
doubt
their
about the fact that
presidency?
When you think of the Constitution and the 14th Amendment, it was
Or is it
certainly
only
written as
rule
it
of
relates
law
to
for
slavery,
some?
not as it
Rule
relates
of
to
law
illegal
for
immigration.
thee,
It's
but
been
not
applied
for
to
me
illegal
or my
immigration.
friends.
So the challenge that we face is, in fact, one that has to do with whether or not the people that come here are under the jurisdiction of our laws.
I think it was in the forward. This is the Heritage 25, Project
Surviving
2025.
a Supreme Court argument is something I can't tell
General
you. But
criticism.
from a
Mm,
perspective
oh, yeah,
of the
I see.
Constitution, I think it's
Yeah,
simple.
he
that
tells us something.
clearly it was designed for slavery and not for illegal immigration. I'll go one step further, though. When we have a conversation about the things that are happening on
Yeah,
this
I
stage,
think
we
they're
think about the
orgies,
fact that Vivek
right?
just said we were all
I think they're
good people, and I
orgies.
appreciate that, because last debate, he said we were all bought and
Ooh, this is a
paid
good
for.
one, Tom.
And I thought about that for
I don't
a
know if I
little while
know.
and said, I can't imagine
I
how
probably
you
don't
could
know
say
what
that,
the-
knowing that you were just in business with
I'm
the
gonna light
Chinese
candle
Communist
because I'm
Party
feeling
and
very,
the same people that funded Hunter
Very,
Biden millions of dollars was a partner of yours as well.
Nonsense.
It's not nonsense.
So look, here's what I
Bitch!
want to respond. These are good people who are tainted by a broken system. And it's not the
I
fault
think you
of anybody who's involved.
Some of us are tainted about.
Excuse me. Thank you for speaking while I'm interrupting while I'm speaking.
You said
If I may finish. If I may finish.
Girls, don't fight.
Gentlemen, you'll have your turn.
One of the challenges.
So listen up.
We have a focus on the issues that matter.
Gentlemen.
This in China.
There's no
Everybody knows
gentleman
that.
here.
If I may
Focus
address.
on holding Joe Biden accountable. That's what we need to be
Fire!
doing.
Fire!
Speak at the same time, no one can understand the
Exactly.
message.
So if
True.
I may, I agree with Ron
So
DeSantis on
true.
China. When every other CEO expanded
That's
into the
true.
Chinese market, you know what I did with my first company? We opened a subsidiary in China. But you know what I did that was
No.
different than every other
Isn't that
company?
bad?
We got the
That
hell
was
out
bad.
of there.
Hold
and
my
when I started
earrings.
my next
Right
company,
before you
Strive,
fight,
right when I
fight,
that
fight.
was years ago. Right when I started
Yeah,
my
he
next
does.
company, Strive, to
I'll not
compete
just
against
bomb Mexico. I'll
Excuse me.
bomb
To compete
Canada.
against Latin
That's a
America,
good
I made
one.
commitment that we would never do business in China.
It was
And I
no
will
longer
say
outside the
something
power
about
president
this.
advising him said,
Well, if I was interrupted by a lot of people here, and I want to be respectful because I believe these
You
are
were
good
respectful
people,
last debate.
but I do not believe in these. We're sitting here in
Yes.
the Reagan Library.
Yes, I
In
wish
the
Yes.
honor of Ronald Reagan's
I want,
library, if may.
like,
One admirer
it
of
is
Ronald
good for
Reagan
him.
to
You're right.
another.
I
One
want
admirer of Reagan
him
to
to,
another.
I want Nikki to
Because
rip her earrings off and get in the middle of it and just be
Let's
like,
have a policy debate.
What's going on?
Let us have a policy debate.
Let's have out their records.
Let's have a policy debate. And the right answer
I'm
is
in the middle. I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle.
Vice President Pence, in 2017, the Trump-Pence administration canceled DACA, which put the legal status of 600,000 dreamers in the hands of the courts.
Oof, I just sound like I know what I'm
And they
talking
pay
about. Do your
taxes.
research.
As president, if the Supreme Court ends DACA, would you work with Congress to reach a permanent solution for dreamers?
Well, first, let me say I'm glad Vivek
glad everybody's
pulled out
yelling
of
at
his
each
business
other.
deal in 2018 in China. That must have been about the time you decided to start voting in presidential elections. So we're nice to have you
Yes.
participating in elections. So let me
This
speak
is
to
why
this.
I wear
Number one,
heels, because I can put them through your
I
temple.
negotiated the Remain in Mexico policy with the Mexican government. We used economic power to bring the Mexican government to the table. We built hundreds of miles of border wall.
Oh my God.
And
You guys
despite
are
what's
so
said here
funny.
today, we reduced illegal immigration and asylum abuse by 90%.
You guys are so funny.
And as president of the United States, I can do it again. And the truth is, we need to fix a broken immigration system, and I'll do that as well. But first and foremost, a nation without borders is not a nation.
A nation
And we have
without
to secure the
borders. We have
southern border
borders.
of the
We-
United
we
States
actually
of
have
America.
borders.
I know how
Everything's
to do
fine.
it, and we will
We
do it
still
again. Let
have
me
our
say one other
borders.
thing about China.
Vice
Let me say
President,
one other thing about China.
would you negotiate
No.
with Congress to
You can't.
give a solution to the problem that dreamers have right now? They are on a limbo.
Well, let me tell you, I served in Congress for 12 years, although it seemed longer. But you know, something I've done different than everybody on this stage is I've actually secured reform in Congress. You know, Ron, you talk a really good game about cutting spending, but you've increased spending in Florida by 30%. When I was a member of Congress in 2006, right after Hurricane Katrina, Dana,
You
remember,
know,
we
yeah,
stood
where are
our
his
ground.
eyebrows?
I led House conservatives.
Where
We
are
cut
his
$100
eyebrows?
billion out of the federal
It seemed
budget.
longer for us
It
too,
can be
Melissa.
done,
That's
but
brilliant.
as I said in the last debate, I'll say again, this is no
Like,
time
don't
for
worry.
on-the-job training. I'm going to be ready on day one.
Day
to get
one,
Congress
I
to step up,
promise.
secure the southern
And I'm
border
not
of the
gonna,
United
I'm
States,
not gonna
build a
coo like my
military
friends
fitted
did.
to
I
our
promise.
times,
Even though
and we're gonna
I
get
thought
spending
about
in Washington,
cooing,
D.C. under control.
I won't coo. I double dog promise. I pinky swear. No cooing.
How will
No
these
cooing.
candidates make America safer as rising crime plagues our cities? Debate night
Dun, dun, dun,
continues
dun,
in
dun,
moments.
dun, 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 dun. He's got the different ones. Yeah, he does. Okay. And
Do you
this is
trust our government and where the
audience.
economy
No!
is heading?
I don't trust you. Hey, do you think that I look good in this suit? My wife seems to think that I don't look good in this suit, and I think I do. I think I cut quite a figure in this suit, and I'm going to move over so that I can sell you some of this useless gold. That's right. I said useless gold. Look, honey, we could buy this shitty gold and never retire in our lives because these aren't real gold coins. Those aren't ever real gold coins. Nope, they're not. Nope, they're not. Oh, yep. Okay. Well, yeah, we have all these little weird things, and we are the trusted leader in gold, but we don't actually send you any gold. And so you're going to have to know that when we do this, it's not actually, yeah. Do. Oh, I didn't need to look at. Oh, and really, again, tell my wife how great I look at this. Never mind. Gold. Wait, what? First, a word from these sponsors. Oh, wait. Any knowledge on democracy since 2,000 years ago that you have a library? Oh, I get it. He forgot his pet fly. He did. Play the video. Oh, man. Okay, hold on to your love. Yeah, hold on to your love. Hold on to your love. This one, the Tim Scott one. Oh, yeah. Share. Come on, share it. All right, I'm going to share it. Hold on. Everyone should text them and tell them how much the debate sucks. That's a good idea. Fahrenheit. I'm still trying to memorize Fahrenheit 451. I bet they do. I will not. Yeah, remember, Gal's the one who bought the Trump box. Okay, so I'm just saying. The famous Trump box. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Copy. Hold on, I'm almost got it. Hold on right now. I'm almost there. Hold on. I'm going to be getting it soon. I know. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, what can you guys see? Can you guys see what I'm showing? Okay, good. Hold on. Oh, God, hold on. Sir.
America's not
hold on, sir. Hold on. I said hold on. Okay, Senator Tim Scott at the LPR 2021 retreat.
Is that I can feel the passion for this nation. I feel this sense of expectancy that the best is still yet to come. That America's not done yet. That if we hold our hands together, that God and good conservatives will bring back this tide of opportunity, this wave of optimism that will overflow this nation. And we'll be talking to black folks and white folks and red ones and brown ones. And we'll be saying the same exact thing, that America and the dream is alive. It is well. It is healthy.
The dream is alive.
Is that I can feel the passion for this nation.
My passion.
I feel the sense of expectancy that the best is still yet to come.
The best
that
is
America's
yet
not done yet.
come.
And if we hold our hands together, that God and good conservatives will bring back this tide of opportunity, this wave of optimism that will overflow this nation. And we'll be talking to black folks and white folks and red ones and brown ones. And we'll be saying the same exact thing, that America and the dream is alive. It is well. It is healthy.
Can you smell it? I can smell it. I can smell it.
I feel this sense of expectancy that the best is still yet to come. That America's not done yet. That if we hold our hands together, that God and good conservatives will bring back this tide of opportunity, this wave of optimism that will overflow this nation. And we'll be talking to black folks and white folks and red ones and brown ones. And we'll be saying the same exact thing.
The same speech. Can you? Okay, baby.
It is well.
All right.
It is
All right.
This room is that I can feel.
Sorry. Oops.
At the U.S. Attorney's Office in New Jersey, and we set records for the number of
Okay. Oh, sorry.
prosecutions that we brought that still have not been broken. And the reason was that we went after the crime that was affecting people's lives. And as president, I will appoint an attorney general and instruct that attorney general that you are to put all the resources that are necessary to bring our cities back under control. The fact is, they will be stretched. There's no doubt about that. But that's what they take the job for, because they love the idea of enforcing the law. We've got to bring law and order back to this country. And not just in our cities, but we need law and order back everywhere. We need law and order back in our suburbs. People are threatened there. We need it in our rural areas. People feel threatened there.
That's what I heard.
And we need it in Washington, D.C. also.
We need
and Donald Trump should be here to answer for that, but he's not. And I want to look at that camera right now and tell you, Donald, I know you're watching. You can't help yourself. I know you're watching, okay? And you're not here tonight. Not because of polls and not because of your indictments. You're not here tonight because you're afraid of being on the stage and defending your record. You're ducking these things. And let me tell you what's going to happen. You keep doing that, no one up here is going to call you Donald Trump anymore. We're going to call you Donald Duck.
Boom! Boom! Mic drop! Where's my mic? I'm dropping it. Where's my mic? Oh! 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 Oh!
Causes of crime, especially this revolving door of the criminals. They just get out and come back and commit another crime.
Well, the crime in these cities is one of the strongest signs of the decaying of America. We can't be successful as a country if people aren't even safe to live in places like Los Angeles and San Francisco. Just being in Southern California over the last couple of days, my wife and I have met 3 people who have been mugged on the street. And that would have never happened 10, 20 years ago. In Florida, we back the blue. We support the men and women of law enforcement. They are keeping us safe. We have a 50-year low in the crime rate. Yes, when I had 2 progressive prosecutors that weren't following the law in Florida, I removed them from their post, and the people of Florida are safer as a result of it. As president, I will use the Justice Department to bring civil rights cases against all of those left-wing Soros-funded prosecutors. We're not going to let them get away with it anymore. We want to reverse this country's decline. We need to choose law and order over rioting and disorder.
Okay, have you read the Pew Charitable Trust study on the summer of 2020? Mr. DeSantis, have you read the Pew Charitable Trust study on the summer of 2020? And
3 years ago, you signed a pledge to support law enforcement. Now, pledges are a nice idea, but what's your actual plan to get more police on our streets?
Well, and I actually did it in South Carolina too. You know what we knew in South Carolina was you take care of those who take care of you.
Soros was mentioned.
We have to start taking care of law
Melissa
enforcement.
says everybody
needs
needs to
taking
drink.
care of them with words. It's making sure that you also follow through on what they do. Right now, we have a lot of stolen guns on the street. Well, these law enforcement officers, they arrest these people and then they go and they're let out the very next day. So law enforcement feels like they don't know one has their back. We have to start prosecuting according to the law.
Be mean.
We have to make sure we have the backs of law enforcement. And we have to make sure that
ma'am, I'd like a vodka tonic if you're going to come by again.
I don't think we spent enough time on that.
That's what I feel like saying to her.
We have to look at what government's doing to hurt us against China too.
Yes,
you have
Nikki, I'd like a decaf
that
coffee
produces
if you're coming back this way.
amoxicillin, the #1 antibiotic that we need.
I
And
don't
right
have
now,
a
there's
woke
company in
count.
Bristol,
I haven't
Tennessee
heard it.
that
Well, I've heard
produces
it.
that. Yet
Wait,
our federal
have we heard it
government
once?
only gets it from China.
I don't know.
We need to be focusing
know.
on companies that produce in America and supporting those companies that produce in America, not companies that are helping China.
We'll be talking foreign policy later.
Mind the gap.
Thank you,
Mind the
Stuart. We're going to stay in the topic of crime because
she's trying really hard.
It affects
she is trying really
all
hard.
of us.
You're right.
Governor
We gotta
Bergen,
give
for
her
the
a
first
minute.
time ever,
She's actually
a
the
universal
most
poll found
tolerable
that mass
person on the
shootings
stage.
and gun safety
I guess.
are
I don't
one
know.
of the
Maybe now
most
that I said
important
that, it's
issue
like, I don't
for
know.
Latino voters.
Well,
mental health
Ron has
concerns
lost my vote.
are not unique
I
to
don't
the
know.
United States, but gun
What's
violence
that?
is.
None with the wine
What
at now.
is your
Where's
specific
that none
plan
with the wine?
to curb gun violence?
Where is
first
she?
we need to know is
Where's
understand
that
is I think
wine?
that the liberal left seems to be just completely bent on
President.
prosecuting law-abiding citizens that are gun owners, because every solution they
are?
have to this is take away the Second Amendment rights of Americans, and
No.
somehow that's going to solve
That's
the
actually
problem. But all
not
these cities
it.
that we're talking about that you showed the video of tonight, they have some of the strictest gun
That's
laws in the
probably
country.
true.
So we know
Yes,
that
he
that's not
probably
what's
has
working.
lost
What
your
we have to
vote,
do is
hasn't
get
he?
back to the core issues about
Burgum.
the family. We have to get back to behavioral health and mental health.
I'm
We've got to
still-
get back
isn't
to actually
Burgum-
enforcing the laws these people talked about and like we've done in North Dakota, where we're.
I mean,
we've got the
really,
goal
has he
and
not
we're on
done?
the
I
track
haven't
to be the
watched
most military-friendly
SNL. Has he
state in the
done
nation. We've got
Bergam
the
on
most
SNL? Because
military
he
and the
has
most
to.
support
I
of
suppose
what
they're
we're
not
doing in
doing
terms
it
of
right
law
now, but
enforcement
weren't they doing
because
it before?
The morale is down because
I know.
we've been defunding
See,
the
that's
police
the
because
thing,
they've been
Melissa.
attacked
There
in
are
the press.
plenty
The
of
police have become the bad guys
democracy
when they're the one. There's
owning
all these
or
jobs available in America.
democracy
Why would you be a policeman if people don't even
loving
respect them?
gun
Every
owners, I
time I
guess.
see a policeman, the first thing I say is
Bulgur.
thank you.
Oh,
And so
that's
does
it.
everybody else in
Bulgur
my
wheat.
family and
Yeah,
most
okay.
of the people in our state because they know we have
Bulgur
to
wheat.
respect the people that are out there defending us every single day.
Mike
Can I answer
Bulgur.
the question on mass shooting?
Really? Oh,
Mr.
how do
Ramaswamy,
you
according to Customs and Border Protection,
how do you
about
actually
90%
how do you
of
feel about
fentanyl
the
is
Capitol
seized
Police?
at official border crossings, and
Did they deserve
57%
it?
of the smugglers
Nobody
are
does.
U.S. citizens.
Val,
How will you stop
literally
fentanyl
nobody knows who the
brought
fuck this
into the
guy
country,
is. So don't
mostly
worry
by
about
US
it.
citizens through ports of entry?
There's two sides to this, and we have to be very honest
Nobody
about it.
knows.
One is we do have to seal that southern border.
Burzum
Building the
was a
wall is
satanic
not
move.
enough. They're building cartel-financed tunnels underneath that wall. Semi-trucks
Well, then that
can drive
explains
through
it.
them. We have to use our
That
military
explains it.
to seal the Swiss
Yes,
cheese of the
he
southern
will.
border. But we also have to be honest.
His levy
There's
is
a
dry.
demand
Good
side
one,
problem in this
Diana.
country
Good
too.
one.
A mental
No
health
relation.
epidemic.
Okay.
I met
Fair.
family in Iowa, two parents, Kathy and Derek. They lost
That's
their
okay.
son, Sebastian, 17 years old. He bought Percocet on
We got it.
Snapchat.
We got the point.
And then he died. Why did he die? Because it was laced
I like
with
Nazi.
fentanyl.
Nazi
That is
Vic
closer
Arms.
to bioterrorism, not a drug overdose. That is poisoning. So it is our job to make sure that never happens. But it's also our job to make sure that 17-year-olds don't turn to Percocet via Snapchat. We have to bring back mental health care.
You can
in
buy
this country.
Percocet on
Not with
Snapchat?
pumping pharmaceuticals,
What
but
the
with
fuck?
faith-based approaches that restore
These
purpose
kids today,
and
they've
meaning
figured
in
out
the next
everything.
generation of Americans. Many of them are
He died
getting it through
because he bought
social media.
Percocet on
And this isn't a
Snapchat?
Republican point or a Democrat point. But if you're 16 years old or under, you should not
He
be
does.
using an
He
addictive social
absolutely
media
does.
product,
He
period.
absolutely
This is
does.
something that we can both agree on, and we can revive
He had a
both the
huge
mental health of this
conversation about
country
it with,
while stopping the fentanyl epidemic that will kill more
Bill Barr.
people this year than
Yeah.
who died on 9/11.
Yeah.
And I refuse to be a passive
On his
bystander
little
sitting in
fucking
the White House like
podcast.
the hollowed out
Crazy
husk of a current president we
Ivan!
have. We will step up and address this
Finally,
problem
that's
and
right. I have
stand for
Snapchat now.
Americans and our children.
The poison not overdose line is
Everything he said, I agree
today.
with.
Yeah,
That is why, as
exactly.
Commander-in-Chief,
Oops.
I'm going to use the U.S.
Sir,
military
this is
to go
Wendy's.
after the Mexican drug
Ivan!
cartels. They are killing our
Yay!
people. And
Yeah,
the stories
BRB
that I've
downloading
seen in Florida, we
Snapchat.
had an infant, 18 months.
Ivan!
Parents rented an Airbnb.
That's
And
my
apparently the
buddy.
people that had
That's
rented
my
before
buddy.
were using drugs. The infant was crawling,
My
the
buddy,
toddler was
where we go
crawling on the
take
carpet
drugs and
and
watch
ingested,
music.
fentanyl residue and died.
My favorite
Are
buddy,
we just going
where
to sit
we
here and
take
let this
drugs and
happen,
watch
this
music.
carnage happen in our country? I am not going to do that. So I guarantee you on day one,
yeah,
this
no,
border is going to
he
be a
doesn't.
day one issue for me as
No,
president.
he doesn't want them
We're
to
gonna
vote
declare
either
it an
unless they
national
pass
emergency.
a
Yes,
test.
we'll build the wall. We'll do remain in Mexico. But those Mexican drug cartels are
Please
going to be
pull
treated like
forward
the
for your
foreign
total
terrorists.
search. Okay, listen, everybody, listen. I'm on the 5. I'm on the 5.
Just last month,
You're
Vice
just going to
President
be
Pence,
quiet.
You said if elected, you would repeal all Obamacare mandates. However, you also made that same promise in 2016. And at that time, Trump Pence had congressional majorities for at least the first 2 years. And you did not deliver on that promise. So Obamacare, right now, it is more popular than ever.
Yeah, they do.
Why should Americans trust you if you become president
Drugs
to
and
fix that?
music.
Or is Obamacare here to stay?
Well, first, let me
Weird
speak
how
to the
they
mass
try to
shootings
shoehorn
issue,
their
and then I'll
tender
answer that
family
question. It's
story.
an important one, David.
Right?
Look, I'm someone that believes that justice delayed is
Snapchat by
justice
Percocet and
denied.
Chatterbait to tell Seth.
And as a father of 3, as the grandfather of 3 beautiful little
Yay
girls,
for tactical vests.
I am sick and tired of these mass shootings happening in the United States of America. And if I'm president of the United States, I'm going to go to
What are
the
you gonna
Congress
do?
of the United States, and we're going to pass a federal expedited death penalty for anyone involved in a mass shooting so that they will meet their fate in months, not years. It is unconscionable that the Parkland shooter, Ron, is actually going to spend the rest of his
Thank you,
life
Val.
behind
That's-
bars in Florida. That's not
Yeah,
justice.
some
We
blue
have to
just
mete
because,
out
you know.
justice and send a message to these would-be killers that you are not going to live out your days behind bars.
I
You're going to
appreciate
meet
that.
justice in this
But
system.
does
You're right,
that mean Obamacare is here to stay?
Tactical Val. What did she say? Oh man, I'm sorry.
Well, thank you for reiterating the question because I'd love to answer it. Look, I think it's one of the choices here. You know, my former running mate, Donald Trump, actually has a plan to start to consolidate more power in Washington, D.C., consolidate more power in the executive branch. If I'm president of the United States, it's my intention to make the federal government smaller by returning to the states those resources and programs that are rightfully theirs under the 10th Amendment of the Constitution. That means all Obamacare funding, all housing funding, all HHS funding, all of it goes back to the states. We'll shut down the federal Department
even
of
the fly
Education.
has left his
We'll allow
side,
states
Rufus.
to
Even the
innovate.
fly
We're going to
won't
revive
sit
federalism
near
in
Mike
America,
Pence
and states
anymore.
are going to help bring
He
America
was
back.
canceled. That fly was canceled after his appearance on Mike Pence's head, and he has never forgiven Mike for that.
For Governor DeSantis, over 26 million Americans don't have insurance coverage.
This guy always sounds like a recording.
2.5 million of them are in your state. That's worse than the national average. Can Americans trust you on this?
Feel about that?
Well, I think this is a symptom of our overall economic decline. Everything has gotten more expensive. You see insurance rates are going through the roof. People that are going to get groceries. I spoke with a woman in Iowa, and she said, you know, for the first time in my life, I'm having to take things out of my grocery cart when I get to the checkout line because the total goes up so quickly. So this is very real, and people are hurting out there. So we've got to address the underlying problem with Bidenomics, the overspending, taking all Biden's rules and regulations. I'm going to throw them in the trash can on day one. You're not going to have to worry about that. We're going to open up all of our energy. We will be energy dominant in this country. That will lower your gas prices. And what we need to do with healthcare is recognize our healthcare is putting patients at the back of the bus. We have big pharma, big insurance, and big government, and we need to tackle that and have more power for the people and the doctor-patient relationship.
Why is your record in Florida on insurance worse than the national average?
Our state's a dynamic state. We've got a lot of folks that come. Of course, we've had a population boom. We also don't have a lot of welfare benefits in Florida. You know, we're basically saying this is a field of dreams. You can do well in the state, but we're not going to be like California and have massive numbers of people on government programs without work requirements. We believe you work and you got to do that, and so that goes for all
people
the
who can't
welfare
work?
benefits.
What about
And you know what that's done, Stuart? Our unemployment rate is the lowest amongst any big state. We have the highest GDP growth of any big state, and even CNBC, no fan of mine, ranked Florida the #1 economy in America.
On the topic of healthcare, Governor Haley, healthcare is the leading cause of bankruptcy for American families, accounting for 2/3 of all personal bankruptcies. As president, how do you protect Americans who get sick from financial ruin?
First of all, how can we be the best country in the world and have the most expensive health care in the world? We have an issue. My mom was in the hospital, and when she was in the hospital, they tried to bring her a couple of Tylenol, and she said, I don't need it. And they said, honey, go ahead and take it because you're paying for it anyway.
Where are the white boots?
When we got the bill,
where's your boots?
The insurance company and the hospital negotiated the bill for her without her having anything to do with it. When I am president, we will break all of it, from the insurance company to the hospitals to the doctor's offices to the PBMs.
Oh,
to
Medicare
the
for all?
companies.
Is that what she's
We will make it all
suggesting?
transparent, because when you do that, you will realize that's what the problem is. Second thing is you've got to deal with
Oh, really? I
tort
thought it
law.
was the prices actually
The
being
doctors
high
don't
that
give you
was
the
the
10 tests
problem.
because
But
they
you're
want to. It's
saying
because
just
of
the
the
fact that we don't
90%
know they're
chance they'll
high?
get sued.
Oh, okay.
And then we need to bring competition back to healthcare, get rid of certificate of need systems, and make sure that they can compete. We have to put the patient in the driver's seat. They've been in the back seat for way too long. And once we give the patient the ability to decide their health care, deciding which plan they want, that is when we will see magic happen. But we're going to have to make every part of the industry open up and show us where their warts are, because they all have them, and we need to fix this on behalf of the American people.
In 30 seconds, do you have a better way in 30 seconds?
Well, yes, we're not talking about the real problem ever. We talk about why do we have the most expensive healthcare in the world? It's because the federal government got involved the same way they did with EVs, and they said we're going to subsidize a particular kind of software back in 2008 under Obama, and they said, hey, we're going to do this. It's going to make everyone more productive. All of you that are watching have been to a doctor's office when the doctor's got his back to you and their hands on a keyboard. The only industry in the world that's ever absorbed $1 trillion of IT and became less productive. They saw less patients per day as U.S. healthcare because they were subsidizing a certain kind of technology. It wasn't about improving healthcare. It was about picking winners and losers. Every time the federal government's involved, whether it's higher education, healthcare, or now the auto industry,
no one cares. Doug, stop. Okay, can you get me some more breadsticks? Doug, all I want to hear from you is, here's your breadsticks, ma'am. That's all I want to hear.
The second Republican debate rolls on from Simi Valley.
Ah! Jesus Christ. I'm telling you, I remember being depressed when I was a kid and he was president. I remember being depressed. I don't care what you're saying. I remember being so depressed when he was president. He got grievance, but no redress. Rename it the Stable Genius Dis with NAFTA. Yeah. Oh, hi, Kathy. How are you? Good to see you. Yeah, she thinks healthcare needs more capitalism. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. No, the levee is dry. She just lost big pharma donors. Yeah. Yeah. I think she should. I think she should. I think she should write the Affordable Care. Wait a minute. Why do they keep putting him on TV? Why do they keep putting Doug Burgum on TV? Who's going to vote for that guy? What is he? Justice for Jimmy Carter. Fuck yeah. Where is Dorcas McFlorcus gonna go with what is Doug Burgum's what color is his parachute? What does Doug Burgum want to accomplish? What does he, you know that old saying, you shoot for the stars and you land upon you shoot for the moon and you land among the stars. Is that what it is? So is that what where's his star packet? He's not going to, is he going to get does he want a cabinet position? Is that what it is? This is all they can do. Hi, I'm Mike Pence. And I want you to vote for me. But I don't know, Kevin. I'm Kevin, and I can't even really think about, and I'm a really big guy, and they really are scared of me. Hi, I'm stupid. And I'm really stupid. I'm Byron Donalds, and I'm stupid. I'm Ted Cruz, and I'm stupider. I promise you I am. And now, back to the countdown. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Casey Kasem. This is Casey Kasem with America's Top 40. The wrong planet. When I'm president, we're going to break everything. Nikki Haley. Yeah, they did. They lost the Swifties. Wow. They don't even understand what that's going to be. When in the hospital, they have to give you medications from their pharmacy. They're liable for what they dispense to you. Had your own. Yes. So true. So true. Keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. But no, it's aiming for the moon. Aim for the moon and you'll land among the stars. Which, by the way, is not true. That's just not true. Jerkules. What color is your parachute? Here, you're going to need this. You're going to need this generator because all hell's going to break loose in about 2 weeks, I think. Oh, yeah, break the shackles of big tech. Use our shitty cloud. Yeah, we'll take all your data. We're going to take all your data, and that's going to be what happens. And then that's going to happen, and then that's going to be what happens. And then you're not going to have any service. Full transparency. Yeah, I don't know. I am a fan of the Swifties, man. They figure out. Bend over and grab your ankles. Well, here's the sad part. Here's the sad part. Look at this. Look at this. They have 2 commercials on this channel. They have 2 commercials. That's it. And that's pretty sad. Protect your future and buy some gold, 'cause who knows what it's gonna be worth tomorrow. Wouldn't it be fun? Wouldn't it be fun? Yeah. Oh. No Russell Brand commercial tonight. No. Shocker. But true. Do 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 do. Yeah, exactly, Val. Gold and prepping. And gold and prepping and well, not really Relief Factor. They don't really do Relief Factor on that. That's more on Bannon, on Real America's Voice. Oh, and this is just Fox fuckers. Fox and fuckers. This is Fox and fuckers.
Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in the Air Force One Pavilion for the second Republican debate. And let's get back to our questions, Governor Haley. American students, they are in academic trouble. They have lower scores in math and reading. There's chronic absenteeism. That's at record highs. And this has even been called education homicide.
Where's my notebook?
You say school choice is the answer, but South Carolina, your home state,
Wasn't
still
it
has
already
not
here?
enacted universal
Isn't
school
this,
choice.
is this the
And even the
post-rapture?
current
Aren't we in it?
expansion won't be fully implemented until 2027.
Yes, it's at the
Parents
Reagan
can't
Library.
wait 4 years for a fix. So what would you do right now?
Well, and school choice isn't the only answer, but I'll tell you, it's not out of a lack of trying that we didn't try and get school choice in South Carolina. What I'll tell you, first of all, is we have to acknowledge the fact that 67% of our eighth graders are not proficient in reading or math. Over
Why do you think that is,
80%
Nikki?
of our eighth
Why do you
graders
think
aren't
that is?
proficient in history or civics.
Why do you
and
think that
recently
is,
they
Nikki?
came out and said our 12 and 13-year-olds are scoring at the lowest levels they've been scoring
So
in reading
that
and
should
math
put
in
you in
decades.
charge of
So the first thing
something?
we've got to do is we've got to make
Weren't
sure
you
we catch
governor?
our kids back up. We have to make sure they can read.
Oh,
A
how are you
child
gonna
that
do
can't
that?
read by third grade is 4 times less likely to graduate high school. We need to do reading
you gonna do
remediation.
that?
We need complete transparency in the classroom. No parent should ever wonder what's being said or taught to their child in the classroom. We need to make sure that we have school choice so that there's competition. We need to move all the programs
can
in
you
the federal
also,
government
Nikki, while you're
down
at
to the
it,
states
can
and
you
let
have,
states decide
can you
what
make
education
parents
looks like
help
in
us
their
when
states.
their
And
child
we
is
need
at
to
risk
start
of not
building things in America
graduating?
again. Let's
Is that
put
something you
vocational
could help
classes
us with,
back
Nikki?
in our high schools, and let's
Can
get
you
our
also
kids
help us with
building the
parents
things
that
we
have to
know
work
that we can
multiple
make.
jobs, so
When we
it's
start
really
to
hard
focus
for
on
them
that
to
and
help
really
their kid
bring
get
in
to
that
school on time? Are you going to help with that, Nikki?
parental involvement, that's when we'll start to see a difference. But we've got to get parents back included. We've got to quit spending time on this DEI and CRT and instead focus on financial literacy, on digital literacy, and on making sure that our kids know what they need to do to have the jobs of the next
Right.
generation.
On the subject of education, a question for Governor Christie.
She might
Students in your
be.
state
I think she's
are
wearing
getting high
Hugh
marks on
Hefner's.
their report cards. But minorities are not doing well with math and reading.
Is your dad
Black
Hugh
and
Hefner?
Hispanic students averaging 29 points lower than white students in New Jersey. Would you address minorities first?
You have to address all students. And look, in our state, Stuart, frankly, before I was governor, that gap was close to 50%. And what we did was institute more charter schools and more Renaissance schools and more public school choice in New Jersey with innovative solutions in cities like Camden, where now we took what was the worst school districts in America during my time, and we have now increased that by nearly 40% in terms of their proficiency. It can be done when you give people choice. But let's
No,
tell
that's
the
not.
truth to
It's
everybody
still
about what
bad
this
schools.
is. This public
Oh my
school system
God.
is no longer run by the public. It is run by the teachers' unions in this country.
No, it's
Randy
not.
Weingarten and her crew are
I can't stand
absolutely
Randy for the
struggling. They're
record, but
taking the
I-
worst of their
I'm
members
all
and
for
defending them
teachers' unions.
rather
I
than
think that
advocating
the
for our
teachers'
kids.
union needs
And
a
when
little
you
work,
have the
but
President of the United
that's beside
States
the point.
sleeping
That
with a
doesn't mean you
member of the
get rid of it.
teachers' union, there is no chance
Defend
that you
public
can take the
schools, so we can
stranglehold
decry
away
them.
from the teachers' union every day.
Yeah,
they have
exactly.
an advocate inside the White House every
Thank
day
you, Val.
for the worst of their teachers,
Yep.
not for our
Thank you,
students to
Paul.
be the best they can be. A president of the United States has to take on the teachers' union. I did it in New Jersey, and I will do it as president of the United States.
Governor DeSantis, I have a question for you. Governor DeSantis, I have a question for you. Florida's new Black History curriculum says, quote, slaves develop skills which in some instances could be applied for their personal benefit. You have said slaves develop skills in spite of slavery, not because of it. But many are still hurt. For descendants of slaves, this is personal. What is your message to them?
So first of all, that's a hoax that was perpetrated by Kamala Harris. We are not going to be doing that. Second of all, that was written by descendants of slaves. These are great Black history scholars. So we need to stop playing these games. Here's the deal. Our country's education system is in decline because it's focused on indoctrination, denying parents' rights. Florida represents the revival of American education. We're ranked #1 in the nation in education by U.S. News and World Report. My wife and I, we have a 6, 5, and 3-year-old. This is personal to us. We didn't just talk about universal school choice. We enacted universal school choice. We didn't just talk about Parents' Bill of Rights. We enacted the Parents' Bill of Rights. We eliminated critical race theory, and we now have American civics and the Constitution in our schools in a really big way, just like President Reagan asked for in his farewell address back in 1989. Florida is showing how it's done. We're standing with parents, and our kids are benefiting.
You oppose to these new standards. What is your message for Governor DeSantis?
There is not a redeeming quality in slavery.
Yeah, really.
He and
Chris
Kamala
Rufo.
should have just taken the one sentence out. America has suffered because of slavery, but we've overcome that. We are the greatest nation on
Thank you,
earth.
Kathy.
because
Was it a hoax or
we
was it written by
faced
the descendants
our
of
demons
slaves?
in the mirror and made a decision? So often we think that all the issues, you talked about crime and education and healthcare, we always think that those issues go back to slavery.
Correct.
Here's the challenge though. Black families survived slavery. We survived poll taxes and literacy tests. We survived discrimination being woven into the laws of our country. What was hard to survive was Johnson's Great Society, where they decided to put money, where they decided to take the Black father out of the household to get a check in the mail. And you can now measure that in unemployment, in crime, in devastation. If you want to restore hope, you've got to restore the family, restore capitalism, and put Americans back at work together
I really
as
don't
one
know how
American
their
family.
rating is. Their
Our
rating high? I
nation
haven't looked at their
continues
education.
to go in the right direction.
I know
It's
how to
why I
read
can
their,
say I have been discriminated against, but America is not
Yes, I
a
agree.
racist country. Never, ever doubt who we are. We are the greatest country on God's green earth. And frankly, the city on the hill needs a brand new leader. And I'm asking for your vote.
Oh,
for
little
you, Mr.
little Reagan
Ramaswamy.
reference there.
10.7 million students in over 18,000 public schools nationwide have the ability to change their identity without parental notification. Governor Christie told Stewart last week that he would pass a federal law to protect parental rights. Would you try to do the same?
I have to be very clear about this. Transgenderism, especially in kids, is a mental health disorder. We have to acknowledge the truth of that for what it is. I met 2 young women early in this campaign.
Oh, you are
Parental rights
disgusting.
in school.
Parents
You're
have the right to know.
disgusting,
And you know what the
Vivek.
hypocrisy of this is? Even New Hampshire failed to actually get past a piece of legislation here. The very people who say that this increases the risk of suicide are also the ones saying that parents don't have the right to know about that increased risk of suicide. And I'm sorry, it is not compassionate to affirm a
Diane
kid's
is a teacher.
confusion.
Let
That
me
is not
Diane.
compassion, that is cruelty. I met 2 young women, Chloe and Katie, early in this campaign, who are in their 20s, now regret getting double mastectomies and a hysterectomy. One of them will never have children. And the fact that we
fuck off,
allowed that to
Smarmy.
happen in this
He is
country
gross.
is barbaric. So
He's a
I will
transphobe.
ban
He's a
genital
turf.
mutilation or chemical
Okay, but I
castration
wanna know,
under the age of 18, and
specifically,
parents have absolutely
Would you
the
try to
right.
pass a federal law that says parents should have that right?
We're going to require states absolutely have to
Then I
follow
wanna
that through.
ask Governor
We
Burgum just to
stand
follow
for
up on
parental
this
rights.
because
Yes.
you in your state you do not have a law that says parents can't be notified, but you want to be president. Would you try to pass a federal law to say parents have that right?
I think this is a state's issue, but I do want to say something.
Note this.
Because all night long we've been
Vivek
talking about
is
issues about
everyone's
how it's broken
introduction
in
to Matt
Washington, and I
Gates'
respect all of the
2028
people on the stage
campaign
here
for
for their
president.
100+ years of public service. Thank you.
You
But the
heard it
reason
here.
why we're not talking about
They
education
did
or
not give a
healthcare
child a
or safety
hysterectomy.
being a
Thank
problem
you,
in North Dakota is
Kathy.
because we
They
have a
are
business leader.
lying about the
I've got
shit
more
that
experience
happens, and they
as a
don't
business
know
leader
they're
than I think this whole
transphobic.
group combined. I know I've created
Trans
more
lives
jobs than everybody
matter.
else on stage,
Jesus.
thousands of high-paying jobs that
Take
have real meaning.
Xanax.
So as a business
Exactly.
leader, you come in and you treat the taxpayer like a customer. So in North Dakota, instead of fighting with the teachers unions, we actually created a K-12 coordinating council. Everybody gets in the room and the customer is
But
the
you do
student.
understand that this is an issue that many people in America really are concerned about, worried about parents and notification
Thank you,
in
Paul.
schools.
That's
Yes,
right.
and that's why we have 50
Parental rights
platforms of innovation.
within
That's why we have states.
reason.
There are
Or
certain
take them
things
to a
the federal
drag
government
queen
is supposed
show.
to do. It's not the
A drag
Department of
queen reading
Education
hour.
that needs to be assembled. We got to
Yeah.
move it back to states. Do what we did in North Dakota. Instead of like, oh, here's a choice school and here's an old school, the old way with the teachers union, the kids are trapped. We made every school in North Dakota an innovation school. Every school got out from under the red tape, and the things that help teach the values that we're trying to get,
always
like 4-H,
welcome,
like
GA.
FFA, like
Always watch GOP debates on Therapy Day, or make sure you've got
And by the
plenty.
way, North Dakota is now at the top of the median SAT scores in the
Eye of
country
the
right now.
Vice President Pence.
Eyebrow
Homeland
of the
Security warns that violence against
tiger.
LGBTQ plus people is on the rise and intensifying. According to a recent study,
There you
members of that community are 9 times more likely to be victims of violent hate crimes. As president, how would you protect this community from violent attacks and discrimination?
Well, as President of the United States, I'll stand up for the safety and the civil liberties of every American from every background. And I want the American people to know that. But I want to answer the question as well, Dana, that you just asked Doug Burke. Because by way of full disclosure, Chris, you mentioned the president's situation. My wife isn't a member of the teachers union, but I got to admit, I've been sleeping with a teacher for 38 years. And so full disclosure. Look, education is a state and local
I'm
function.
so sad for him.
The state of Indiana
He
had
really
one of the
tried
very
to make
first
a
school
joke.
choice programs in the country.
And
And when
he
I was
didn't
governor of the
make
state
it.
of Indiana, we doubled
And
it.
let's all mourn
And as to your question, Dana, let's
death
be
of
very, very
Mike
clear.
Pence's.
When the Linn-Mar
Sense of
Community
humor.
Schools in Iowa had a policy where you had to have a permission slip from your parents to
Yes,
get a
thank
Tylenol,
you,
but you could
Paul.
get a gender transition plan without
LGBTQIA people
notifying your
are at
parents.
risk of violence
I
and suicide
weighed
because
in
of the people on
with
this
the
stage
foundation.
right
That's
now
not bad
and the
policy.
Fox
That's
Network.
crazy.
Thank you.
We're going to stand
Well
up for the
said.
rights of parents, and we're going to pass a federal ban on transgender chemical or surgical surgery anywhere in the country. We've got to protect our kids from this radical gender ideology
talk about
agenda,
sex
and we've
with
got to
my wife.
empower parents at the state level with the ability to choose where their kids go to school, whether it's public, private, parochial, or homeschool. You empower parents, and our schools
should never
will
make sex
straighten
jokes
up
again,
and
Kathy. You're
reflect our
right.
values and focus
Mike
on
Pence
the
is
basics
not.
faster
Yeah,
than you
bad
could
buddy
possibly
reception
imagine.
speech.
Next subject.
Can I just say one thing?
China is
China.
investing.
China,
If you
China.
talk over everybody,
China.
please lose time. China is investing heavily
spicy.
in their tech companies.
Spicy Brit.
$280 billion
Spicy Brit.
every year
Mother.
on semiconductor research and
Mother.
development. That is 1 CHIPS Act per year. Governor DeSantis, you say companies like Google and Meta have too much power. Doesn't going after them give China an edge?
Yeah, don't
No, I
protect
think
kids
you
from
look at how
guns.
our societies develop. They have huge amount of power over our society. They've
Thank
cracked
you.
down on
And
free
that is
speech.
not- that should
we're not
not
saying
be
you don't
a
want them to do
phrase.
business, but you want it to be a free market. And right now they're monopolies. But this
Yeah,
issue of
exactly,
China,
Joe.
I think, is really going to be fundamental. We have subcontracted out so much of our national
Exactly,
needs
Melissa.
to the CCP. We rely on them for a whole host of issues. We need to reshore and we need to decouple all those important industries. We need to get that back in the United States. They are our top geopolitical adversary by a country mile. Xi Jinping's got huge ambitions,
Good
not
one.
only in
Good
the
one, Diana.
Asia Pacific, but as you mentioned earlier, in our region. But ultimately, we've got to beat them on the economy. And so that's what we'll do as president of the United States.
Oh,
Governor
William?
Christie, I
How?
wanted to follow up on this because
Tell me
22%
how.
of
I'm dying
American
to
workers
know.
fear their jobs will be lost to a robot. And you said in the past that
Not
the
me.
free market is the way to go. Would you retrain workers who lose a job to artificial intelligence, and to do what?
Well, look, what I think artificial
I
intelligence
love
offers
Xi
us
Jinping.
is an extraordinary
love
opportunity
Xi
to
Jinping.
expand well beyond the productivity that we have now, and to have Americans be able to be involved in that revolution, Dana. You know, each time we have shown incredible innovation and progress in this country. What we've done with it is to expand all
Xi
kinds of new,
Jinping,
even
Xi
unthought of
Jinping
opportunities
runs China.
for folks.
Come on,
Yes,
runs
we have to do
China.
retraining for folks
come on.
who lose some of their jobs, and we should be doing that. And we should have more training available both at the county college level and the local level for people to be able to access it. So yes, I would be in favor of that, but this is a much bigger issue than that. We can't be afraid of innovation. America has been the great innovator of this world
That's right,
over the
Kathy.
last 250
There's
years.
trouble
A technological innovator, a manufacturing
in the
innovator, and a
hills.
freedom and
Summer,
governmental innovator.
hello.
And that's
Oh
why
my God,
America has to
Summer,
continue to stand strong
you
in
at
the
that
world,
concert, girl,
pro-innovation,
you looked fantastic.
pro-progress. And I will tell you
I
this,
love you.
as President of the United States, what I will
Glad to
do
see
is
you.
to
I'm so glad. It looked like you had an amazing
make
time
sure
at that
that
concert.
every
I'm really
innovator
happy
in
for
this
you.
country gets the government the hell off its back and out of its
That
pocket
is
so that it can innovate and bring great new inventions to our country that will make everybody's lives better.
Great new invention.
Mr. Ramaswamy,
Sad when Christy
is
at least
banned
sounds like the
on
And
government-issued devices.
the minute you say
because
that,
of its
you're going to regret
ties
it,
to the
Val,
Chinese
because he's
government.
going to prove you
Yet
wrong.
you joined TikTok
time.
after dinner with boxer and influencer Jake Paul. Should the commander-in-chief be so easily persuaded by an influencer?
So the answer is I have a radical
Paul would
idea for
kick
the
my
Republican
ass.
Party. We need to win elections. And part of how we win elections is reaching the next generation of young Americans where they are. So when I get into office, I've been very clear. Kids under the age of 16 should not be using addictive social media. We're only going to ever get to declaring independence from
Oh,
China,
good.
which I favor,
You
if we
looked
actually win. So while the Democrats are
You
running
looked
rampant,
gorgeous.
reaching the next generation 3-1, there's exactly one person
It
in the
looked like a
Republican
great
Party
time,
which talks a big game about reaching young
Amazing
people,
concert.
and that's me. And let me
Is it
level with
because
all
of the
of you. I'm the
time on
new
the
guy
Sunday
here,
shows?
and so I know I have to earn your trust. What do you see? You see a young man who's in a bit of a hurry, maybe a little ambitious, bit of a know-it-all, it seems at times. I'm here to tell you, no, I don't know it all. I will listen.
Yeah, unless Ronnie
I will
saves
have
you.
the best people, the best and brightest in this country, whatever age they are, advising me.
must have.
We will be probably many of the people on this
Yes.
stage included. That's how I built my companies. I want to be
Oh,
challenged.
is that how you
I want
burned and
people who
churned your
disagree with me.
companies? You
That's
took a
what makes
drug that
America
had
great,
failed,
because we're not a perfect
and you
nation.
raised money
We're
off of
founded
it
on the
until it failed
pursuit of
again.
perfection.
That's
That
what
is
he
what
did.
makes America great.
That's what he did.
And that is why we will end it once we win this election.
I have to jump. I have to jump in here.
When
I'm sorry.
Mr.
I have.
Ramaswamy was speaking.
There's one
Would you go
person
ahead,
on this.
This is infuriating because TikTok is one of the most dangerous social media apps that we could have. And what you've got, I honestly, every time I hear you, I feel a little bit dumber for what you say because I can't believe that here.
Okay, that is actually the
TikTok
best line of the
situation,
night.
What
It's
they're
the best
doing
line
is
of the
these
night.
150 million people are on TikTok. That means they can get your contacts, they can get your financial information, they can get your emails, they can
Let me
get
just say,
text messages, they can get all of
this
these
is important.
things.
This is
China
very important
knows
for our
exactly
party.
what they're
This
doing.
is very
And
important for
what
our
we've
party, and
seen
I'm going to
is
say
you've gone and you've
we
helped
should
China
stop.
build, make medicines
will-
in China, not
Excuse
America.
me. Excuse
You're
me.
now wanting kids to go and get on the social media that's dangerous for all of us. You went and you were in business with the Chinese that gave Hunter Biden $5 million. We can't trust you. We
So
can't
let me-
trust you.
let me
We
say
can't have
something.
TikTok.
We're all dumber. Yeah, thank you, Val.
Mr. Ramaswamy, you have 15 seconds.
I think, excuse me.
You have 15 seconds, Mr. Ramaswamy.
I think we would be better served as a Republican Party if we're not sitting here hurling personal
That's fucking
insults
awesome.
and actually have a legitimate debate
I'm
about
Oh,
policy
she won,
following
and then she
Reagan's
lost.
11th Amendment in his honor. And the answer is
when
that is what actually makes our country
You
strong.
guys
And
are too funny.
I believe in
You
these
guys are
people.
so
These
funny.
good people on the stage. They disagree. Let's have a legitimate disagreement. That's what I would say.
If it,
Stuart, can we get
Governor-
back to the question? The
No, we
question is
cannot.
on
Governor
technology.
DeSantis,
There's
I'm
one
going
person
straight-
on this stage.
Sir,
that has
It
a-
is
we will
possible.
have to cut your mic, and I don't want to do that. I don't. So, Governor DeSantis, let me go to you. Experts say President Putin has ordered assassinations across Europe, cheated on arms control treaties with the U.S., and seeks to work with China to force our decline.
He just got hard.
President Reagan believed
actually.
that if you want to prevent
got
a
hard
war,
when
we
she
better
told
be
him,
prepared.
I'm going to cut
fight
your
one.
mic.
Today, the
I'm gonna cut
Republican
your
Party
mic.
is at odds over
That made
aid
him
to
hot.
Ukraine. The price tag so far is $76 billion.
Someone
But is
cut
it in our
sorghum.
best interest to degrade Russia's military for less than 5% of what we
fucking
pay
on
annually
fire.
on
I
defense,
love you so
especially
much.
when there are no
Oh
U.S.
my
soldiers
God.
in the fight?
It's in our
It's
interest
the
to
only
end
way
this
to
war,
watch
and that's what I will
this
do
is
as
literally
president.
the only
We are
way.
not going to have a blank check. We will not have U.S. troops. We're going to make the Europeans do what they need to do.
Tornado
But they've sent
Greg.
money to pay bureaucrats' pensions and salaries and funding small businesses halfway around the world. Meanwhile, our own country is being invaded. We don't even have control of our own territory. We have got to defend the American people before we even worry about all these other things. And I watch these guys in Washington, D.C.,
Good call,
and they
Kathy.
don't care about the American people. They
Oh
don't
my God.
care
I don't
about the
even
fentanyl
know,
deaths.
fool.
They don't care about the communities being overrun because of this border. They don't care about the Mexican drug cartels. So as commander-in-chief, I will defend this country's sovereignty.
But it's not a territorial dispute. It's never been a territorial dispute.
And 90% of the resources that we send over to Ukraine is guaranteed as a loan. It is not 90% of the money that we send over there is loan. Well, we can talk about this, but at the end of the day, 90% of the money that we send over there is actually in the form of a loan. It's not actually not being paid by Ukraine, it's paid by the NATO or NATO allies.
So I think it's a
Everyone
good
else.
topic.
I think it's a really good topic. I will say, let's debate the fact that our national vital interest is in degrading the Russian military. By degrading the Russian military, we actually keep our homeland safer, we keep our troops at home, and we all understand Article 5 of NATO.
We have to level with the American people.
I thought you said something about waiting until your turn to talk.
Shut up, Ziv.
So at the end of the day, I'm going to finish my, I'll be happy to
Go ahead and then I'll respond.
I look forward to this one. So at the end of the day, when you think about the fact that if you want to keep American troops at home, attack on NATO territory would bring us and our troops in. By degrading the Russian military, we reduce, if not eliminate, an attack on
If I
NATO
may
territory.
finish that exchange, we have to level with the American people. We have to level with the American people on this issue. The reality is just because Putin is Putin's an evil dictator does not mean that Ukraine is good. This is a country that has banned 11 opposition parties.
A win
That
for
has-
Russia is a
that
win
is not
for
true.
China.
We're driving
a win
Russia.
for Russia
Excuse
is a
me.
win for China.
Excuse me, Nick, you'll have
but
a chance.
I forgot you like
You'll
China.
have-
That's
no,
why you're.
You'll have your chance in just a moment.
Yeah.
The hurling personal insults isn't helping. China is the real enemy, and we're driving Russia further into China's arms. We need a reasonable peace plan to end this, especially this is a country whose president just last week
Vivek,
was
if you
hailing a
let
Nazi in
Putin
his
have
ranks.
Ukraine, that's a green light to China to take Taiwan.
We need a
Peace
reasonable
comes
plan
through strength.
We need a reasonable plan to peace.
Governor
The
Christie.
Communist Party of China is the real enemy.
Governor Christie. Governor Christie. President Biden's first 2 years.
You're British. I don't have to
brought
pay attention to
China,
you.
Russia and Iran closer together. Are we focused too much on Ukraine and not enough on this threat from the new
Yeah, he
world
does
order?
think he's
No,
doing
they're all
something.
connected, Stuart. They're all connected. The Chinese are paying for the Russian war in Ukraine. The Iranians are supplying more sophisticated weapons, and so are the North Koreans now as well, with the encouragement of the Chinese. The naivete on this stage from some of these folks is extraordinary. Look, I understand people want to go and talk to Putin. Guess what?
Yep.
So did George W. Bush. So did Barack Obama. So did Donald Trump. And so did Joe Biden when he said a small invasion wouldn't be so bad. Every one of them has been wrong.
Whoa,
And the
Chris.
fact of the matter is,
What the fuck are
we
you
need
talking
to say
about?
right now that the Chinese-Russian alliance is something we have to fight against, and we are not going to solve it by going over and cuddling up to Vladimir Putin. Look, Donald Trump said Vladimir
Pence.
Putin was brilliant
Pence said it.
and a great leader. This is the person who is murdering people in his own country, and now not having enough blood, he's now going to Ukraine to murder innocent civilians and kidnap 20,000 children. And let me tell you, if you think that's where it's going to stop, if we give him any of Ukraine, next will be Poland. This is a guy who said, wait one sec, this is a guy in 1991 who said that was the darkest moment in world history when the Soviet Union fell. Listen, everybody, he wants to put the old band back together,
Correct.
and only
Joe Biden
America
did not
can
say
stop
that.
it. And when I'm president, we will.
Governor Burgum, I want to get to Governor Burgum. He hasn't had a chance. I have a question I think you're going to really like, or at least you have
She's
experience
like
in it.
panicking.
And we need to talk
needs to
about
not
America's
panicking.
farmers because there
Panic.
is a foreign policy connection here. The U.S. and China are in this
Arms
fierce
for-
economic competition. It's hurting American businesses,
What's a
and there
Jello
is
kebab?
blowback against American farmers
What's a Jello
because
kebab?
China then targets them in retaliation. How would you, as president, protect American farmers and ranchers from that kind of retaliation from a foreign government like China?
Well, first of all, we've got the best farmers and ranchers in the world right here in
He's right.
America.
He's wrong.
If they have a level playing field, they can outcompete anyone in the world. But this is part of the larger issue that we're talking about here, which is we're in a Cold War with China. The Biden administration won't admit that. But we're also in a economic war through what we're doing with agriculture and energy. And we're also in a war with them relative to cyber war. We get attacked every day in North
Kermit
Dakota, every
Muppet.
state, every school district, our tribes, all being
that's a good
attacked every
one.
day by either China, Russia, Iran, or North Korea. And now we've got a Biden administration whose whole policy is appeasement. They're out there, creating the world, making it less safe. $6 billion they traded for 5 people. They've just now set a price on anyone's head who's a tourist from America, who's a student from America, for kidnapping.
Ooh.
If you want more kidnapping,
Who
put a
said
price
that?
on it. And then they're also
said
helping
that?
Iran get to have
They do
more closer to
They do
nuclear
not.
weapon,
Farmers
which
do
pushes
not have a
all of the
playing
Middle
field.
East closer to China and Russia. The whole thing is absurd. And then, of course, we're going to give Ukraine to Russia, and then we're going to give Taiwan to China,
did he.
and think that's
So
a
did he,
foreign
fool.
policy.
He forgot
That
he
will
was there
make our
too.
nation less successful,
Right.
make us more poor. And at the core of all that is
I mean,
energy
the eyebrows
policy,
are the
because
window to the
China
soul.
imports 10 million barrels of oil a day. They're the largest import in the world.
I
And
don't
we've had
know,
4 cabinet
Diana.
members
I
from
don't know.
the Biden administration there this summer, and none of them talked about U.S.
Sweet.
energy. The first one to go to each of those
Sweet
countries was Kerry to talk about the
Caroline.
folly of the climate
I don't know
climate
what
policy,
you're
which is making the world less
saying.
stable. It's
I
empowering
don't
dictators.
know
It's not about
what you're
climate change that we need
talking
worried about. It's about the
about.
Biden climate policies that are actually the existential threat
I
to America's
actually
future.
would like them to take a breath. Like I'm
Mexico's
feeling like
president
I'm
called
holding my
who
breath.
supports sending
because
U.S. military into
I
the
can't
country.
understand. Thank you. I
All
can't
those
understand him either.
scoundrels. Mexico is the United States' most important trade partner
I can't.
and border security. You say you will send special operations to
I
attack
do
the
admire his
cartels in
commitment.
Mexico.
Well, I mean, you have to have
So,
commitment. You're on the
this
debate
means
stage. I
boots
mean,
on the
it's either
ground,
poop now or
drone
don't
strikes.
poop at all.
It means special
Right?
operations. It's how we deal with our terrorists. And what you need to do is
You heard windmills are
understand
making
that
whales go
Mexico's
batty,
not being a
and
good
they're
partner. If we
dying,
lost
right?
75,000 Americans last year,
What's his name?
Mexico's not being a good partner if they're letting the cartels get away with what they're getting away with. What we will do is we will make sure that we send in our special
Said he
operations
saw
and we
3
will take
dead
out
whales,
the
right?
cartels, we'll
Didn't he
take
say
out their
that?
operations, we'll take out anything that's doing it. But we're going to go after China because China is the one sending the fentanyl in the first place. And we will end all normal trade relations until China stops sending fentanyl.
Oh, okay,
And then
wait.
we'll do the special
really?
operations and we'll
You
get it from
understand
both
how much
sides.
shit we
This
get
is
from
where
China,
President
right?
Trump
Does
went
she
wrong.
understand how
He
much shit we
focused
get
on
from
trade
China?
with China. He didn't focus on
Does
the fact
she-
that they were
does
buying
she-
up our
does
farmland. He
she-
didn't focus on the fact
Her
that they were
tears.
killing Americans. He didn't focus on the fact that they were stealing $600 billion in intellectual property. He didn't focus on the fact that they put a
Lummox
spy
still
base
hates
off our
windmills since
shores
they
in
wanted-
Cuba.
Oh,
They didn't
that's
focus
literally
enough on
the
the
only
fact
reason
that
he
all of our
does,
law
isn't it?
enforcement drones in America are Chinese, and we've got all these little surveillance cells. We
There's
need
no
to start
sanity.
focusing on what keeps Americans safe. That hasn't happened in a long time. As your president,
I
I
need
will
some
make sure
fentanyl. I'm
every
really
American
excited.
is
I'm
safe,
really
and we'll do
tired
whatever it
again.
takes to make that happen.
All right.
Yeah,
Get to
everybody
Senator
does.
Scott.
Everybody does. Kathy. All the Republicans
You're
want to
all
use the
auditioning for
military on the
job as
border.
president of the United States. You want to earn these votes. But the world's problems land in the Oval Office.
I don't
During the
know.
presidential debates in the year 2000, neither Al
Yes,
Gore
everything
nor
in
George
Walmart is
W.
from
Bush was
China.
asked about Al Qaeda. Yet,
Thank you,
just
GA.
1 year
You're
later, Al Qaeda's
absolutely
attack on
correct.
September 11th claimed nearly 3,000 lives. And the farther we get from
Don
September
Quixote
11th,
mind share.
the closer we are to September 10th. Senator Scott, you have no executive branch experience. What has prepared you to protect the
Well, he has
nation
more
from a
experience
major
than Vivek.
man-made
So-
national security crisis?
One of the things I've had the good fortune of doing is serving on committees in the United States Senate, like the Senate Armed Services Committee. I'm on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, also on the Finance Committee and the Banking Committee. Talk about addressing the issue of fentanyl. I've written the legislation, passed it through the Banking Committee and the Senate that would freeze the assets and sanction the accounts of the Mexican
Ooh,
cartels.
nice,
There are
Val.
weapons that we have within
Scott's
the
just
arsenal
nailed
that
Trump
I
for
was able to get
fraudulently
past
inflating his
23 to
words there.
0 in the polarizing Senate as it is. I've also understood without question the fact that if you look
Thank
at
you,
the
fool. This
details
says it all.
before 9/11,
The DOJ
there
just
was
busted a major
information and
Chinese
intelligence
fentanyl ring,
that
and
was
the corporate
available
media covered
that
how much
suggested
ketchup
the
Riot
attack
Coke
was
had put
coming.
on his steak
Having the right
instead.
intelligence partners
Well said.
with us is key to making sure that we prevent the next 9/11 from ever happening. Having that experience for the last
When you
10
think about
years
it, isn't
is
selling
really
oil-
important in getting the job done.
Oh, wait. Isn't selling
30 seconds to
all
you,
the
Mr.
cheap
Pence?
China stuff a form of money
Well, I think you asked a
laundering?
question about executive experience. I think it's vitally important.
Mm.
And I stand before you today as a candidate for president because I think this country's in a lot of trouble.
Oh, really?
And you
You
hear
got
the
us
fire
there.
on the
You would
stage
know.
tonight. You hear the
You
fire
got
in
us
all
there,
of our
bitch
voices. And it's
kitten.
because Joe Biden has weakened this country
Bitch
at
puppy.
home and abroad. This is a time
I don't think
for
so. I
those
think
of
he's
us
doing
that have
pretty
the
well, actually.
experience, the tested experience, and a commitment to the conservative agenda that Ronald Reagan brought forward
I
in
gotta
this
say his
party of a
name.
strong
Drink.
national defense, standing with our allies, standing up to our enemies, supporting limited government and traditional values, need to step forward.
Understood.
Because frankly, our party does face a time
Frankly.
for choosing, as I said at the top of this debate,
To
whether we're going to stand on the
everything,
foundation of that conservative agenda that Ronald
turn,
Reagan poured, or
turn.
whether we're going to follow
There
the
is
siren
a
song
season,
of populism unmoored to
turn,
conservative
And now
principles.
is the
I'm the most experienced, most
and
qualified, and
there's
most consistent
something,
conservative
something,
in this field, and I'm ready to lead America at
It
home
is
and abroad on
now
day
a
one.
time for choosing to go to a break. Ilya. We need to go to a commercial break. Reagan built a coalition that lasted decades. Can any of these candidates do the same? We'll take that up.
Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Well, let's look at this while we're waiting. I want to thank Gal Suburban for sharing this amazing tweet with me in preparation for tonight's debate. Let's take a look at what Gal shared, shall we? Former president, this is from opensecrets.org, which is a fantastic account, and I think everybody should really go ahead and follow them because they're amazing. Former President Donald Trump is not physically attending the Republican debate tonight but he dominates fundraising with more than any other candidate in the GOP presidential primary field as of second quarter FEC filings. And this is where, the link is. But let's look at this picture. Okay, wait, here we go. Okay, Trump leads away in fundraising. Oh, whoops, sorry. Okay. Save America Joint Fundraising Committee. Trump, look at this. This is 50 million. Can you see that? I just want to make sure. I don't know if you guys can see that. Wait, let me go through the thing. Reagan would be a rhino. I don't even know. No time. Oh, wait, what was it? And a time for every purpose under heaven. Ooh, to everything turn, turn, turn. Oh, yeah, isn't it crazy? Time to gather chuds together. Unitemized, yeah, I know. I kind of want to find out who gave. Vivek is not self-funding. Vivek is getting money from fucking Peter Thiel, isn't he? That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Well, I don't know. That's what I thought. Okay, so it says Trump, blah, blah, blah. Dispantis. Oh, wait, what's the yellow? Oh, unitemized. Oh, look at it. Anything past 25 million for Trump is unitemized. Anything at, let's see, DeSantis has about 20 million. And what is this? Self-financing. Oh, yeah. See, I don't believe this. He's getting money from Peter Thiel. Burgum, whatever. I don't know who he's getting. Haley, whatever. Scott, whatever. Who's these? Oh, Larry Elder. I know him. Oh, I know. Look at Pence. Wow, he fucking sucks. What the hell, dude? Ugh, I don't know who's winning it. Wow. Wowie McGowie. Okay, well, all right. Sorry, I thought I had more, but I don't really. I don't. I was listening to America's Mayor. That was pretty funny. Ah! It's a Patriot Power Generator. Bum, 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 bum. Holy shit, 10 million, yeah. Peter Thiel pays my bills. Peter Thiel, he pays my bills. Peter Thiel. Well, is he still alive? I actually put Asa Hutchinson in the Kissinger category of I thought you were dead. Because I thought he was dead. He uses the money from his paper route. Because North Dakota is big. So there's a lot of papers to be delivered. People are very, very Luddite in North Dakota too, I understand. So probably they read the offline paper a lot more than, yeah, taking from Peter to pay Smarmy. That is Q2. Is that what it says? Hold on, let me see. Oh, that's not what it is. That's not what it is. Hold on just a minute. Hold on just a minute. Okay, wait. This is from, let me see. Open Secrets FEC campaign financing data through February, Q2, ending June 30. So it's only one quarter, second quarter. Wait. Through, it's through. I'm so sorry. So this should be a to date, right? This should be money to date. Yes, I think. I don't know. I can't. I wouldn't be running for president. Oh, there's another thread. Okay. Did China take them all? Yes, I noticed that there is a lot of CCP members actually just delivering papers these days. Go to Open Secrets page. I will. I don't think that's true, Grandma. I don't think Newsom's going to do it. I don't think so. No, I don't think it's all of... No, I think it's just second quarter, which is February through June. Wait, no, sorry. God damn. June. Wait. January, February, March. April, May. April, May, June. I think it's just April, May, June. I'm so dumb. I don't know. Yes. Isn't that terrible? That's bad. That's bad. Wait, I got to check on the fucking debate. Oh, shit.
Least the economy. That's how we revive the integrity of a three-branch constitutional republic, rather than this technocracy and aristocracy.
Your response, please.
A technocracy?
I think one of the signature accomplishments of our administration
Color me curious.
was in just a few short years. We achieved energy independence. We became a net exporter of energy for the first time in 75 years.
100%. You
Joe
actually
Biden
got the
declared war
takeaway
on
from this
energy,
fool.
which was no
You
surprise
actually
because when Joe
succeeded
Biden ran for president,
in
he said he was going to
understanding
end
what it is
fossil
you're watching.
fuels. And they've been working
you're
overtime
correct.
to do that ever since. If I'm president of the United States, we're going to open up federal lands. We're going to unleash American energy. We're going to have an all of the above energy strategy.
Baby,
and I have a plan that actually would not only reclaim energy independence, but in 2006, America lost our position as the leading energy producer on earth. I believe in the next 10 years, with the right policies and experienced leadership in the White House, we
I
can
think he does
reclaim
look like
our
he's
role
dying,
as the
Gal.
leading
I think he looks
energy
like he's very
producer
gray.
on earth, and that'll grow the American economy for generations to come.
Governor Haley, reaction to
not
that?
direct.
The person who's leading an energy state, could I answer the energy question?
No, Governor Haley.
So, the first thing I'll say is what I saw at the
Hi,
United
Paul.
Nations is
How are
national
you? Good to
energy
see you.
security. It's national security. We need a president that understands we have to partner with our producers and make sure that we have their backs.
Snickers
what
doesn't
you don't
look
need
like
is a
she's
president
dying.
who is against
She's
energy
looking hot in
independence.
burgundy
Ron DeSantis is
sateen.
against
I got my
fracking.
burgundy
He's against
sateen
drilling.
suit
He's been
on,
against-
and I'm
You
ready
did
to
it. Remember,
party.
he always talks
Who's
about
ready
what
to
happens
party
on day
with
one.
me?
You better watch out, because what happens on day
Who's
two is
ready
when
to
you're in trouble.
party
Day two
with
in Florida,
Snickers?
you banned fracking, you banned offshore drilling, you did it on
That's
federal
not
land,
true.
and you took green subsidies that you didn't have to take.
Governor DeSantis, you
It is
mentioned
true.
you have
Look
the
at
right to
day two.
respond.
You're
30
a
seconds.
you're a
I
closet
just did a plan
ecologist.
out in West Texas for American energy dominance. We're going to choose Midland over Moscow. We're going to choose the Marcellus over the Mullahs, and we're going to choose Bakken over Beijing, and we are going to lower your gas prices. We are going to get that job done because it's important for our national security. It's important for jobs.
Like real
and that's one of
people
the
know
best
that
ways to drive
not
down
how
inflation.
it happens.
Governor DeSantis. Governor
Right,
Because this is ridiculous.
DeSantis, this question is for
Florida,
you.
Our voters enacted a constitutional
You
amendment
banned it before they
doesn't
voted.
allow. No, it's not true.
You
They-
banned it before
No,
they voted,
Nikki,
and not
you're-
only that,
You're not.
fracking
You're not.
wasn't.
You're,
They didn't
she's
vote on
just totally
fracking.
wrong. They
Fascist
voted it
prom.
in.
That's
what we
right,
did.
fool.
Onshore, we do it in Florida. We don't have as much as maybe West Texas, but we do it. But that was a constitution. So that's just wrong. And let's just get real here. My plan will get the job done. We are going to be energy dominant, and that's what's going to happen.
And the voters didn't even vote on fracking, and you banned
We are
fracking.
moving on with this question for Governor DeSantis. Governor, excuse
You
me.
do.
Thank
you.
I'm ready, Stu.
Governor DeSantis, this is your question. The Biden administration is hell-bent on student loan forgiveness.
Right.
But you say colleges should be on the
Boys just
hook
want
when
one thing.
graduates cannot pay their debt. How does that address the cost of college? The cost of college itself?
Because the colleges are going to have to make a decision. Do we expand the gender studies department, knowing some of those graduates may not have great learning opportunities? No, they're going to focus on the things that really matter. They're going to make different choices. They're going to try to graduate
The
people
War
in 4
of the
years. I
Roses.
also just want to come back to something Dana asked last segment about 9/11, because I was
Perfect.
just at the
That's
9/11
it.
memorial
That's what
with the
this is.
families. My wife and I were invited. It's very touching
like,
to be there,
one-
and it affected
one
my
table
life
flip
because I ended
away
up joining the
from a
military as a
good
result
series.
of that. I've been a blue-collar kid, minimum wage in Dunedin, Florida. I ended up getting through Yale and Harvard Law School, and somehow came
Nobody
out more
believes it.
conservative than when I went in, and that is not easy to do. Had a lot of opportunities to make money, but I wanted to serve. And I'll never forget coming back on the plane from Iraq, landing in Coronado, California, North Island, and feeling that breeze off the Pacific Ocean, say, you know what? I am lucky to have been
There would
born in
be chili on
America.
the ceiling.
And I think being able to serve, and I'll be the first president elected since 1988 who's actually served overseas in a war. I think that's going to help me as commander in chief to know how you see these issues and understand that there are real lives at stake for people that wear the uniform.
And we know that Governor Haley's husband is serving right now as well, and we thank him for that. Senator Scott, the national debt has nearly doubled in your time in office. The approval rate for Congress
He's
is at a
married
mere
to her.
19%.
Thank him for that.
If this were a
Jesus.
business, you'd probably all be fired in Washington, but you're here tonight looking for a promotion. In 2013, Governor Haley hired you for the
Wait, what?
Senate. I'd like you to tell her why you should be promoted to CEO of the nation instead of her.
Certainly. One of the things I'd say is if you look at our national debt of $33 trillion, I would love to have an opportunity to have this country pass a balanced budget amendment. That would constrain the spending in Washington in the same fashion that it does in every state in our nation. Number one. Number two, if you want to actually reduce our national debt, you have to grow our economy. In order to grow our economy, you need to create about 10 million jobs to grow our economy at 5%. You can do that in 3 specific sectors. Number one, the energy sector. We could create between 3 and 3.5 million jobs if we unleashed all of our energy resources. America is we're the richest country if you combine coal, gas, and oil. Why not unleash all of our resources? Number two, we've lost 100,000 factories. 100,000 factories in the last 25 years. If we continued on my Made in America plan, we could bring jobs back to America in a similar fashion that we did when I wrote the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. We actually lowered the corporate tax from 35% to 21%, reshored or repatriated $1.7 trillion. We brought the unemployment rates for African Americans, Hispanics, and Asians to the lowest level
We don't have
in
an
the
extra
history
10
of the
million
country.
workers. That's
in a
right.
7-year
And they're not going to
low
work for
for women.
the
Governor Haley,
wages
would
that these
you
guys.
think you would deserve the
first of
promotion
all,
over
I think,
him?
look, I appreciate Tim. We've known each other a long time, but he's been there
But
12
he
years
is
and
being
he
a little
hasn't done
bitch
any
right
of that.
now,
He
and that's
hasn't.
what I'm
They've
gonna
only
say.
given 4 budgets on time in 40 years. He was part of that. He increased the national debt. He voted for the spending.
You voted
He has
for
made sure that the
you
borders are
actually
open and
asked
they
for a
haven't done
gas
anything.
tax
Look at
increase
everything
in
that's
South
happened.
Carolina.
12 years. Where have you been? Where
I
have
voted
you
no
been,
on all.
Tim?
I voted on
12
most of
years.
those things.
We've
I
waited
have voted
and
in most.
nothing has happened.
Here's what you've
12
done.
years.
here's the thing that I just find interesting.
Ron, let me finish
All
the
these guys have said
Here's the
things,
fact.
and I appreciate a lot of the things they're saying.
Nikki
I'm
Haley.
the only one up here who's gotten in the big fights and has delivered big victories for the people of Florida.
What are you talking
and that's
about?
what it's all about.
Yeah,
You can
right,
always
Joe?
talk, but when
Good one.
it gets hot in there, when they're shooting arrows at you, are you going to be
Yep.
stand up for parents' rights, keep the state free? Are you going to be able to do all those things? And in the state of Florida, because of our success, the Democratic Party lies in ruins. We have won the big fights. We have turned our state into a Republican
There
state.
you go.
People respond to leadership.
It's neck and
I've
neck.
done it while others have talked
About
about
the
it.
CEO,
neck.
we actually have a CEO of the White House, which is what I think we need.
Yeah,
If I may
you
just briefly
ran your
interject
company
here,
into the
we
ground
need
by taking up
zero-based budgeting.
failed
That's the
drugs
way
so that you
businesses
could
are actually
re-raise
run. Start
capital,
with
venture
zero
capital on
as
them,
the
you stupid
baseline
ass.
for the budget,
You're
and then
fucking
see what's
asshole. You're
actually
stupid,
necessary.
too.
There isn't a blue state or a red state in this union
Hey,
that
yo,
doesn't.
yo,
The federal
Vivek, calm
government
down.
doesn't
It's
do it.
okay.
But successful
Stop
companies,
screaming.
including the ones that I've built as a CEO,
Stop
I
screaming.
think we need a
Would
CEO
disagree with you,
in the
though.
White House to
I would
get
think
that done.
Governor Burgum runs a state that way.
Yeah,
Yes,
tech
go ahead.
questions you didn't ask
Well,
the
you know
only
what? There's
guys
a
who
lot of
spend tech.
people
You have
running
energy
states.
questions. You don't ask anything, but I'm just going to say right now, when you say nobody else has done it, the energy plans that have all been announced in the last month by these other folks on stage, we're already doing it in North Dakota.
Ooh.
The
I'm
border
already
plans that I
drilling
talked about,
illegally.
We've got
Wait a
troops
minute.
down at the
I didn't
border
mean to
flying
say that.
helicopter missions from North Dakota, from San Diego to the Gulf Coast, trying to stop transnational criminal organizations from inflicting the invasion and the mass casualties in our state. And on the energy policy, we're already doing it. It's not saying with nobody else done the big fights. North Dakota was leading the charge. We won the battle to get the Biden administration, who was ignoring the law. They were the first administration
there you
since
go.
Truman
Thank you,
that
Melissa.
wasn't holding the quarterly required lease sales, and we won that in federal court. WOTUS, we won that in federal court. We're fighting the Biden administration on 20 fronts. To say that
Crazy
nobody's fighting the
Island.
big fights, just look at the record of what we're doing right now. Energy, economy, national security, I've been talking about it since day one, and now
Yes,
finally
indeed.
good. We're having the
Sorghum does run a
conversation about it,
state,
but
but
we
it
got
happens
the
to be
answer in North Dakota.
Governor Burgum, let's talk.
We love North Dakota.
This question's
No,
for you.
he doesn't.
Big
Yep.
government keeps getting
Exactly.
bigger.
He's an idiot.
1/5 of
He's an
all
idiot.
new jobs this year have been created by the government. Governor Burgum, you say you want to shrink the size of government, but it has been a century since any president has done that. Why would you be any
Right? That
different?
would probably be better.
Well, because we've done it in North Dakota. When I took
It
office,
is.
we shrunk the state budget general fund by 27%
It's amazing that
in the
there
first
can be
4 months
one
I
that
was
you hate the
office,
most.
and we
It's
all
so
the trains
true,
still running
Badger.
on time.
Which one do
Why?
you hate
Because
the
you had a
most?
business leader that was actually there. Inside of every government job, there's 10 or 20%
He's not gonna
of
win.
mind-numbing, soul-sucking
He's not
work
gonna
that even the
win.
state and federal employees
Just go
don't
on.
want to do, and you could engineer that work out of the job. That would free up right there 20% of
Yeah,
2 million
right,
civilian
exactly.
employees. And by the way, we've got
doesn't.
10 million jobs open. They'd have plenty to do, and they could be generating taxes instead of being paid by taxes. This is totally possible to do it if you have somebody that understands that, having worked in technology for
really
30
do
years,
it.
everything we
There's-
had to do
oh,
was to be
shit.
better,
Really
faster, and
nothing
cheaper
to-
the next
why don't I
day.
just throw
That's what
away?
we can do in government. That's what we're doing in North Dakota.
All right, Governor DeSantis. I want to ask you about something that I think is on a lot of Republicans' minds.
Was I just
This
holding
election
something in
could
my
come down to less than 50,000 votes in 3 states. Abortion was on the ballot in 6 states in 2022. Republicans lost all of them. Next year, abortion will likely be on the ballot
where's your
in
very
Arizona.
funny joke?
That is a must-win state.
Wait.
Governor DeSantis, how are you going to win
I didn't
over
miss this.
independent,
This one, Cal? This was
pro-choice
pretty funny.
voters in Arizona?
Same way we did in Florida. We won the greatest Republican victory in a governor's race in the
what?
history of the state, over 1.5 million votes. We were winning places like
which
Miami-Dade County, Palm Beach, that nobody thought was possible because we were leading with purpose and conviction.
Tell me
I
which
reject
one
this
it is.
idea that pro-lifers are
I
to
don't
blame
know how to
for
do
midterm defeats.
It
I think
was-
there's other reasons for that. The former president, he's missing in action tonight. He's had
Ross
a lot to
Perot
say
is a
about
Muppet.
that. He
I
should be
love it.
here explaining
Stale
his
Ross Perot is a
comments
Muppet.
to try to
Yes.
say that pro-life protections
North-
are somehow a
North
terrible
Dakota does
thing.
not-
I
does
want
it
him
not
to
have a
look into
million
the
people?
eyes and tell people
I
who've
haven't
been
been to
fighting
North
this
Dakota
fight
in a very
for a
long
long
time.
time.
I
I was
do
at
love
my wife
the-
and I earlier today. We're at
What is
the
that, the
gravesite of
Northern
President
Plains?
and Mrs.
What do
Reagan,
they call that?
and I noticed that there was a quote where it says, "Every single person has purpose and worth."
Oh, it
We're
was
better
funny.
off
No,
when
I
everybody
laughed.
counts. And I think we
Stop
should
it.
stand for
I
what we
laughed.
believe in. I think we should hold the Democrats accountable for their extremism, supporting abortion all the way
It
up
was funny,
until the
Gal.
moment
You're
of
very-
birth. That is infanticide, and that is wrong.
It's Governor Christie. Governor Christie, do you think that
I will.
Okay, Governor Christie, do you think that Republicans can do that in Arizona if this referendum is on the ballot there?
Nice.
Yeah,
I like
because I
it.
did it in New Jersey, Dana.
I could deal with
You know,
that. I
it's-
could
Then
dig
why are
that.
all these other states losing?
Well, because
I
they
could
don't
fuck with
have
that.
leaders in those states who are leading the fight the way it should be led. And in fact is, look, I was a governor here of the only blue state
And,
that's represented up here. This is where the
I think
fight
I
is
went
really
to,
tough for
I
Republicans.
think I went to a
and those are
good,
the states that we're going to have to try to win if we're going to win the White House back. And what we did is 14 times,
I think
Dana,
I went
in
to a
8
good
years, I
holiday.
vetoed
No,
Planned
that was in
Parenthood
Idaho.
funding. 14 times. No one else
I need
gets it
another
that much.
drink.
The Democrats just kept
Oh,
sending
here
it
we
to me,
go.
and I kept
Melissa's
saying
coming
no
in with the big
because I
facts.
believe in life, but I also believe in states' rights. And I think we fought hard against Roe versus Wade
There
for
you go.
decades to say
That's
that
right.
states
We
should
were
make these
laughing,
decisions.
Cal.
So we're going to have those fights in the states. But what you need is a leader who can talk to people and make them understand that if you're pro-life,
True.
you have to be pro-life for the entire life, not just the 9 months in the womb. And we talked a lot about fentanyl tonight, and we haven't spoken
Have
one
we?
moment
Have we
about
talked
treatment.
a lot about fentanyl?
But we need to make sure that
I'm
for the
gonna get
drug
another
addicted
soda.
16-year-old on the floor of the county lockup, her life is precious too. And we need to be providing treatment to cure this as a disease that it is. If you're pro-life, you got to be pro-life for the entire life. We start talking like that, they're going to do what I did in the blue state, which was get reelected with 61% of the vote and won 70% of independents and 51% of Latinos because I told them the truth from my heart.
Thank you. Vice President Pence, the latest Univision poll found that 73% of Latino voters think the Republican Party doesn't care about
It's a
or is being hostile
two-soda
toward them.
evening.
The Hispanic community.
It's a two.
Only Governor DeSantis
soda
has
night.
translated his campaign into Spanish. How will you reach out to Latino voters?
Well, I promise you that we're going to continue to build bridges to every community
Really?
in this country.
Mm.
And I'm incredibly proud of that
Mm.
tax cut and tax reform bill. I worked on Capitol Hill to help get that bill passed into law, the largest tax cut in American history. We saw
Left with a 15%, I would
the lowest
imagine. I
unemployment
remember
ever recorded
Bridgegate. It
for
was pretty
Hispanic
bad.
Americans. The lowest
was
unemployment
really
ever
bad.
recorded for African Americans, 50-year low for women. So I think the president of the United
Sorry.
States needs to be a champion for the American dream for every American. It begins with the
Probably.
unborn and the aging,
What
the
isn't a
infirm.
dig at Christie?
And it begins with every ethnic
Yes.
group in this country. And I promise you, if I'm president of the United States, I'll be a
Oh,
champion.
I missed it.
I'll be a
Oh.
champion for the American dream, for Hispanic Americans, and
Yes.
for every American. So help me
Just
God.
guns.
Senator Scott, reaction.
So help me God.
Yes, there's no doubt that if you lead by example, it's the best way to get the job done. If you look at my office in the Senate, my chief of staff is the only Hispanic female chief of staff in the Senate. I hired her because she was the best, highest qualified person we have. What we need are leaders who lead by example. And I will simply say, I would love to finish my conversation with Nikki as it relates to the job that needs to get done. Nikki offered a 10-cent gas tax increase in South Carolina.
Yes,
Talk about
I would
someone
like
who
to hear
has
each of
never
them say one thing
seen
in
a
Spanish.
federal dollar
That
she
would be
doesn't
nice.
like. 10 cents on the gallon in South
This will
Carolina.
help all of us.
As the UN ambassador, you literally
Bring
Pretty
it.
put
sure they are.
$50,000 on curtains and a $15 million subsidized location.
Yes. Oh, and a staff
Next.
member.
You got bad information. First of all, I fought the gas tax in South Carolina multiple times against the
Just go
establishment.
to YouTube.
Against the establishment.
just go to
and you
YouTube
want
and
to know
see
what
for
that
yourself.
10 cent was?
YouTube.
When they wouldn't pass the gas tax, the establishment and the companies wanted me to do it
Oh my
so
God, I'm
much
sweating.
that I said the only way I will
Here's
pass
what
it
you
if you
have to do.
will
All
give
you have
us
to
That's not-
three.
All
Is
you
Doug a
have to
millionaire?
do
He
is
probably
go
is.
You will
watch
give-
Nikki Haley on YouTube.
Yes.
If you
Right.
will give me 3 times the deduction in income tax,
Ron's not a
then I will
millionaire?
look at your gas
So you
tax,
said
which is
yes.
why I
He's
didn't
not.
have it.
Is that true?
Secondly, on the 50
Here's,
million.
here is a nice part.
Secondly,
Is that
on
true?
The, curtains, do your
Yes.
homework, Tim, because Obama bought those curtains.
Did
I'm
you send
already
them
on
back?
It's in the
YouTube.
Did you send them back?
It's the State Department.
Did you send them
Did
back?
you send them back? You're the one that works in Congress.
Oh my gosh.
You get it
You
done.
hung them on your curtains.
They were there before I even showed up at the residence. You are
Here's-
scrapping.
here's
You
a-
are scrapping.
I'm not scrapping.
Excuse me. You know I fought
Here's a fact.
taxes.
Here's a fact, though.
But I cut taxes. I loaded up our
You want
car.
to
Oh, billionaire. Wow.
And then you want
We do not intend to go ahead like this. In fact, we're about to take a commercial break. We'll have more of the second Republican debate live from the Presidential Library in just a few moments.
Do you?
No, I don't. No, I actually don't. I actually don't. We're going to go here. It's going to be scary. Biden, Trump, outraising party rivals. Let's see what we got here. Scrapping. Ron is one of the poors. No, you're kidding, Melissa. You're kidding. Oh, whoops. Well, he says he is because he sold businesses. Please stand clear of the doors. Mind the gap. No, there's not another half. No, that's not possible. No, it's not the second half. No, that wasn't real. That wasn't real. That's not real. Mochi break. Yummy. But he really cares what? Yeah. And piss. Oh, God, I'm sweating. Oh, my God. I'm sweating. I'm sweaty Betty. Yes, body blue, raised arms. The piss of unpersons for his torture bosses. Yes. Thank you. That's enough. We've heard enough. As of August, he was worth over $1 billion and one of the 20 youngest. Okay, so can we talk about him for a minute? The announcer just made a mistake. I didn't know he wrote a book either. So Vivek took a drug that had failed multiple trials, and his company took that drug and raised money to test it again, and it failed again. So that is what they call, kids, that's what they call a pump and dump. No, that's not my dating life. It is actually a business term when you go in and get as much money as you can, only to then fail, knowing you're going to fail, and you'll still be able to walk away with the money. So you boost the price and all that kind of, yeah, pump and dump. That's right. That's what Vivek is famous for. Yep. Yeah, he's basically a shorter and not blonde Elizabeth Holmes. Yeah, just like the Kodak scheme. Yeah, he hid the results. He's terrible. He's a terrible person. He's a real terrible person. All right. I'm sorry. I should be going to this thing because this is what we were trying to look at. Okay. Biden, Trump outraising party rivals. Okay. Girl. Mama. Okay, wait. I think I can make this bigger. Right. Ah! Not that big. Okay. Democratic President Joe Biden and former Republican President Donald Trump are the top funders. Biden leads Democratic candidates with 19.8 million raised, but Trump's 33.1 since November. Okay. Ahead of 134 million, spending 53.8 million. I should probably make sure I go. Okay, it's still that guy. Biden had raised. Oh yeah, but that's fine. I mean, so what? I don't care. I don't care if he hasn't raised as much as he did. He almost did. Oh my God, it's 22 versus 19.8. Give me a break. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. So, Marianne Williamson is running. She's such an idiot. She's a terrible person. So is he. He's a terrible person too. Have raised 1.7. So Marianne Williamson has raised 1.7 million, and Robert F. Kennedy has only raised 6.3 million as of June 30. That's crazy. Oh shit. God, we suck. I suck. You don't
should
suck.
be voted
You guys
off
are
the
amazing.
marker to write your choice on the notepad in front of you. 15 seconds. Starting now, of the people on the stage. Who should be? I'm
I'll decline to
absolutely
do that
serious.
with all due respect. I mean, we're here.
Oh,
like,
it was an
we're having a
IPO?
debate
Oh, well,
on
then
it.
there
I
you
think
go.
That's
That's even
disrespectful to
worse.
my fellow competitors.
Nobody wants to. Nobody wants to participate.
Well, that's what I said. I said it's not only my dating life, it's also a business term.
Let me ask you this.
If I may.
Let me ask you something. Then if you won't answer that question, let me ask you this one.
Yeah.
What is your mathematical path, Governor DeSantis,
They always
in
do.
order to try to beat President Trump, who has
Diana,
a commanding and
YouTube
enduring
it
lead
looks normal,
in
but
this
on
race?
my screen it
Polls
looks
don't
like
elect presidents. Voters elect presidents. And we're going to take the case of the people in these early states. We're going to do it in a state-by-state direction.
Nobody
and
likes
why?
Jeopardy.
Because as Reagan said in his
It
day,
is
this
Jeopardy.
is our time for choosing. We are not getting a mulligan on the 2024 election. Republicans have lost 3 straight elections in a row. We were supposed to have a red wave
I don't
with
know what's
inflation at
happening.
9%. It crashed and burned. Not in Florida, it didn't. We delivered it in Florida. And so we've got to choose right. We've got to win. And we need somebody that's going to be able to serve 2 terms. So in January of 2023, they'll be able to address the nation saying,
Weren't they
we
supposed
turned the
to write
economy
their
around,
answer?
we secured the border.
How much did
and
you
we fended
bet?
off the threat from
It's
communist
fine. No,
China.
it's no
As your
problem.
president, I will get that job
Mulligan.
done.
Governor Christie,
So wait,
I believe I did see you write something. Governor Christie, I believe, excuse me.
No,
Governor
old
Christie,
astronomer,
I believe
good
I
one.
did see you write something on the card. Who
No.
was it?
No, but I'll certainly tell you.
Go.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, I think I've been the only one on this stage who's been clear about this. I vote Donald Trump off the island right now. And the reason I vote him off the island,
You will
and there,
any of the people on the
because you know
stage
what?
off the-
Every person on this stage has shown the respect for Republican voters to come here to express their views honestly, candidly, and directly, and to take your questions honestly. I have respect for
Where's
every
Gluttony?
man and woman on this stage because they've done it. Vivek, put your hand down for a second, would you? I still got time, dude. So chill out. Here, look. This guy has not only divided our party, he's divided families all over this country. He's divided
He is.
friends all over this country.
He does it
I've
to
spoken to
himself.
people, and I know everyone else has, who have sat at Thanksgiving dinner or at a birthday party and can't have a conversation anymore if they
Governor?
disagree with Donald Trump.
Governor
He needs to
and
be voted
candidates.
off the island, and he needs to be taken out of this
Can we get
process.
Vivek 15 seconds? Vivek.
15
Who
seconds.
is not green?
Look, I have a different view on
Totally.
this. I think Trump was an excellent president, but the America First agenda does not
Chris
belong to one man. It does not belong to Donald Trump. It doesn't belong to me. It belongs to
Dude,
you,
that
the
we fucking
people
know.
of this country. And the question is, who's going to unite this country and take the America First agenda to the next level? When we rallied behind the cry
You're
to
not.
make America
It's
great
just
again,
it's a
we did
passing
not just
thing, and
hunger for
don't
a single
worry.
man.
It's
We
fine.
hungered for the unapologetic pursuit of
You're
excellence.
being
And yes,
fooled
I
right
will-
now.
I will respect
It's not
Donald Trump
real.
and his legacy because it's the right thing to do. But we will unite this country to take the America First agenda to the next level, and that will take a different generation to
does
do
it.
it.
For that does it. I
You,
repeat,
Trump.
that does it. For the second Republican primary debate live from the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library.
Thank you to all the candidates. We've loved having you here tonight, and we will see you out on the campaign trail.
Wait.
Have a great evening. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Good night. Buenas noches.
You suck. I hate you. I hate you too. Yeah, kiss me. I hate you. Kiss me. Okay. Wow, stop. Okay. Jesus Christ on a cracker. Holy shit. I guess that what happened to part 2? What happened to part 2? Oh, Maddo's on. I should probably. Well, it's over. Well, there it is. Chris Christie's not real. Chris Christie is not real. This was all an illusion. Nothing really matters. Anyone can see. Nothing really matters. Nothing really matters to me. Any way the wind blows. Ooh. Yes, that was bonkers. That was bonkers. Matto is on for all of you who need to, because it is cheese and Kraken time. And that was bonkers. They were useless, J31C. Mercifully over. Face red heart shape. Those people are terrorists. You're correct. Singing, we're singing, we're singing. Yes, I hope your therapist got a good night's sleep too, because you're going to all need it. All right, well, and you don't have too much time because you're going to see me in about 6 hours or, well, more, 10 hours. Because at 6:30 in the morning, my time, 9:30 Eastern, everything in between and outside of that, we're going to be watching some weird ass impeachment hearing that I don't really understand. I know, I saw the actual footage. It's so amazing. Yeah, really. I'm gonna see you in just a few hours. Yeah, I'll probably be wearing the same thing, so don't get too excited. Okay. I love you guys. You guys are the funniest people. Seriously, I really do mean this. You guys are literally so fucking funny. I really appreciate it. So from that standpoint, you guys are pretty nice. You're pretty nice. You're pretty good. I like you a lot. You're pretty good. So have a great night. Get some sleep. Please join me in the morning. Make me one of your... Hey, you're too. No, we want something a little less. Here we go. Have a great night. Have a great after party. Sure, thank you, Joe. Thanks, everyone. Really, so